Welcome, travelers, to another thrilling episode
I'm thrilled.
of Arcanarama. I'm Cameron Holt. I'll be your dungeon master for the evening. I am joined, as always, by my guests at this decrepit dinner party, the Arcana crew.
Oh, charmed, I'm sure.
A toast! A toast to the witches. Cheers to their cats. Grip it and fucking rip it, bro. Cheers to the cobwebs and cheers to the rats. Cheers to the ghouls that probably aren't waiting for you in the house on Cloaker Hill. Arcana crew.
Yeah.
Cheers. Yeah.
Announcements before we begin. Taylor, tell them about the Gilded Rogue.
It's me, Taylor, your friendly neighborhood Taylor. The Gilded Rogue is a website where clothes are sold, also pillow and cup. You can buy those things, and they have all your favorite shit on them, right? Like D&D shit. What are you doing right now? Imbibing in D&D shit. That's a shirt from the Gilded Rogue. That's a shirt from the Gilded Rogue.
It is.
You can put it on your
Almost
body,
changed.
and people be like, you walk up to someone who's wearing just a red shirt, and you're like, that guy wears a red shirt. You walk up to someone who's wearing a shirt that says "Time for Crimes," and you're like, that person plays D&D, and I'm willing to hang out with them. Maybe.
I've burned all my other clothes.
Yeah. So burn all of your clothes and go to thegildedrogue.com, where if you buy something, they'll plant a tree, and the tree lives and makes other people's lives nice, and squirrels and bird. So you can you can buy things from there, and they will make a tree alive. So go to thegildedrogue.com and buy a forest of merch.
A tree is planted for every purchase you make.
No, excuse me. A tree is made alive.
It was held dormant until you purchased something.
Hell yeah, thanks Taylor. Now I'm going to throw it over to Sam to tell us a little bit about our other sponsor, More Fun Comics and Games.
Hi there.
Take it away.
More fun comics and games.
More Fun Comics and Games.
More fun comics and games.
More fun.
It's our local comic book shop. They're great. They sell a lot of things. They sell comic books. They sell D&D supplements and books and like
Dice.
dice.
Other
I'm trying to
games.
think of,
Minis?
Yeah, other like tabletop RPGs.
Those like anime figurine things.
If you like tits made of plastic,
Plastic
you could get 'em.
tits. Fuck yeah,
and
dude.
other things.
That's the more
And
fun.
they also
I got Teens in Space there.
they got teens in space there and kids on brooms.
And bikes.
And they also provide us with one of our giveaways for us, the Arcanarama show. Today we have the Snowbound miniatures. They are mystery minis. And they're not moving in here, so it's probably a big guy. You get 4 minis, no matter how big or small they might be. And this one is chonkin'.
Chonkin'.
Oh, it's chonkin'.
Chonking at the bit.
Chonkin' at the bit to be in your house. More fun comics and games. Follow them on social media.
Yeah. You should do that. We'll tell you how to enter the giveaway later on.
Yeah.
You have to be a follower, and you can't live in Quebec.
And if you want, we'll kiss every one of your minis.
Yeah, we can do that. Kitty, do we have a Patreon?
Turns out, sure do. We have a new Patreon, and if you want it, go get it.
Apparently.
Check the About section. Okay, love you.
We tell Kitty everything she needs to know as soon as she starts talking.
Hell yeah. I wanted to give a quick, huge shout out to the Gilded Flask. Some of you watching may have come over from one of their raids, so welcome. If you like fun roleplay heavy tabletop streams, check out their Curse of Strahd actual play. I've actually been watching it on YouTube, and it's a really good time. I'm about 6.5 episodes in at this point. They're lovely people. It's a very fun stream. It's a fun. I always love seeing like different takes on Curse of Strahd and what different people decide to do with that book, because you have to do something different with it.
It was the 80s.
And theirs is great.
It was the 80s. Everybody was on cocaine. What are you going to do?
Vampires! Man, my nose won't stop bleeding.
They normally
suck blood.
They normally stream on Saturdays from 4:30 to 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. They are off this week, though, so don't be sad.
They'll be back.
Don't be sad, they'll be back. But yeah, check them out, and then meet us here if you want to fill up your day with actual play goodness.
It's a good time.
It is a good time.
Yeah, it's like, if you like, if people talk about like our production, thank you. Theirs is good.
It is really good.
It's
yeah.
well put together.
Yeah. I like their intro video a lot. It's very rad. Hell yeah, let's do a vibe check.
Okay, vibes.
Okay.
Check my vibes.
Who
You
do
can check your
I?
You can do a vibe check along with us in the chat by typing exclamation vibe check or exclamation VC if you're just feeling 3 characters.
Marriage.
I got a 10.
5.
5.
Natural 20.
Hey!
Ooh, it's the ghost.
I
Can I have you guys roll
Natalie's
again for
wedding
no
dress.
particular reason at all?
Oh no.
Just the 2 of us.
Yeah.
We can make it.
You
if we
and
try.
I.
Yeah. Okay. Oh,
You
I thought
can make
we
it
did
if we
good.
try.
6.
8.
Nice.
We're doing
A lot of
very
sub
good.
10 rolls.
Yeah, baby. I rolled low on my vibe check.
These vibe checks are so
I rolled
specific.
low on my vibe check.
Oh yeah, we should read some of
I
them.
rolled low on my vibe check.
I rolled low.
Let's look at
on
how
my
some of our viewer
check.
vibes are going.
Yeah.
12 for Gwyd the DM managed to sneak past a giant vulture, or maybe the giant vulture was just tired. And 11 for Wee Firm.
Whee!
Wee Firm was invited to a wedding by a quasit.
That's good. Great wedding.
12 for Safari Fred. A werewolf went in for a hug and after running into Safari Fred, but Safari Fred went in for a handshake. The werewolf takes 6 points of psychic damage.
Robbie so wrote these.
It's a 6 for Rowstone 66. Ooh. Oh, spooky.
No. Spook.
That's a lot of 6s. Bearded Devils polymorphed Rowstone 66 into a giant elk. Well, at least you've got cool horns.
And also
Or
a cool
antlers.
sound.
Yeah.
I
gonna
can't
try,
do it.
Yeah, I was gonna try.
What is the sound?
Are they the ones that
kind of like a
go
whistle.
like
Yeah.
or the
Yeah.
ones that go like
That.
You guys keep talking. I'll build it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
work on it.
Yeah, it's like a train stop.
It's like that. It's
we've
like
got-
if Goose was Whistle.
Yeah. We've also got Butterfly 425 rolled an 8. While at a wedding, Butterfly 425 is seated next to a young silver dragon that won't stop talking about the 2006 film The Fountain. I feel like that's I feel like that is a specific pull from Robbie's life.
Yeah.
That's the thing that happened to him.
Did you say you hate that movie?
Oh, it's someone's fault.
You'll have to stick around to Chaos Hours to get the tea on that.
We're gonna make Robbie say
We have
it and
another
tell us.
mic. Get him in here.
Put him on the racks until he tells us.
All right, with all of that out of the way, it's time to enjoy a meal inside a manor that's definitely not haunted in tonight's episode of Arcanarama.
Arcanarama.
Previously on Arcanarama. After searching then disposing of the bodies of the pirates from the Order of the Black Rain attack, the Squall Rider was caught up in a horrendous storm. The Mistwalkers did all they could to help the remaining crew members sail through the raging squall, and though it was close at times, they managed to pull through. The next day they made port at Verfolgenshire Harbour in Grimdal. At the suggestion of Captain Ark, the party headed to the Toothless Trident for a meal and to gather information. There they overheard a conversation about a suspicious sanatorium that may be holding patients against their will. Cholula studied Silas's History of Kavora book to pin down the former location of Borka and Grimdal, at least as of 400 years past. After renting rooms at the tavern, the party made their way to Turi's Temptations, a chocolate shop filled to the brim with delicious treats. They decided that they should scout the roads that lead to Borka before turning in for the night. During their scouting mission, they encountered me, Lord Fritz Witherby, on the run from a pair of sorrow-sworn horrors from the Shadowfell. The Mistwalkers, though faced with the same sort of creatures that had accosted Silas for years within the Shadowfell, and that had killed Olma in their last encounter, leapt into action. Together we felled the horrid beasts, and as thanks I offered to put the adventurers up for dinner and a night's rest at my newly purchased manor house, that probably isn't haunted, the house on Cloaker Hill. What is the story of this now decrepit mansion? Can the Mistwalkers usher any ghostly patrons over to the other side peacefully? What could go wrong? Find out in the next thrilling episode of Arcanarama.
Welcome back.
Everything is good.
We continue, as ever,
That looks wrong.
from right where we left off. Lord Fritz Witherby stands in the half-open double doorway of the house on Cloaker Hill with his arms spread wide as he says to you, "Welcome to the house on Cloaker Hill." He stands awkwardly for a moment. Please, come in. It's not as bad as it looks, I'm fairly certain. I'll show you to your quarters for the evening and then get started on dinner while you watch up.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to follow where I imagine it's safe to walk behind our...
For sure. So
Yeah, how
stepping
falling apart is it?
So stepping into the entryway, immediately the musty smell of the hall curls your nose hairs as you step inside. To your left,
My nose hairs are naturally curly.
Lovely. To your left is a hallway that leads to the northern wing of the house. The plaster walls are bare and crumbling in places, and there are bits of smashed furniture that lie upon the creaky wooden floor. Ahead of you, another corridor leads to the rear of the house. There's a staircase on the southern wall that climbs to the next story, which is where Fritz is leading you to this staircase. The stairs appear safe to climb, although the balcony railing is broken in several places. And as you're going up, kind of like peering around and just getting eyes, there appears to be under the stairs a third corridor that leads to the south. But words are just words. So I'm
And
going
I didn't
to-
understand any of them.
Yeah, so I'm going to show you guys. Let's take a
Show
look.
us.
Let us see.
Show us the thing.
I want to look.
What the fuck?
What the?
What the fuck?
I
What
saw
fuck?
it before the stream, but I
What
was
the
trying not to
fuck?
stare at it.
So this little entryway here, just for sake of ease for right now, this is the entryway where you guys have been kind of let in, and this is the staircase that you go up. As you do, you enter a crusty hallway
Ooh, crusty.
where you hang a left at the top of the stairs and head down this hallway to a couple of rooms here. As you are being led up the stairs,
This music is pretty ominous. Huh.
it's, but it's not quite ominous enough
Oh, bad.
for my liking.
What's the roof like? What are we dealing with?
Yeah, is
much
it
of the-
sinking in? Is there water damage?
There is clearly water damage in certain areas. Yeah, there, like from outside, I think I described last week that you could see some areas where there were openings in the roof. That appears to be mostly in the southern wing, thankfully, as you are led over to these two bedrooms.
Yeah.
Sorry, I meant to do this during the previously on, but I was predisposed.
Sort of sombre.
As he's the real ones know. Hang on, something. Sorry.
The real one's just kind of squinted. Okay.
They say that the original structure on these grounds was a great keep owned by Count Petre Sandvale. It was conquered by One-Eyed Crumb, as a horrid bandit king who was roving the countryside. He took the castle for himself at the base of operations, as a base of operations, I should say. This, however, did not sit well with the Count's daughter, Lady Hilda Sandvale. Months later, when she received words of her father's defeat, she began a rigorous march back to Verfolgenshire, bringing knights and sellswords to her side and building a small army along the way. She expected the nobility of her homeland to rise to her cause upon arriving, but they had all been so terrified of the reports that the bandit king had been entombing his enemies within the castle walls that they swore themselves to his service in fear. Between losing members of her army to ambushes and desertions along the way, by the time Lady Hilda finally arrived, she had less than a dozen irresolute knights in her service. She and her knights were taken captive by One-Eyed Crumb and his forces. They sat within the castle, and he showed them the hollow walls where they themselves would be buried alive. Her knights begged and pleaded for their lives, and the bandit king offered to let them live on the terms that they watch their leader be entombed within the walls, then travel the country telling all that they meet of Lady Sandvale's failure. It is said that when they agreed to betray her, the lady let out a blood-curdling scream that made all who were present bleed from their ears. Enraged, she slew the bandit king with her bare hands, then took up his staff of bones and dispatched her traitorous companions. None of them were ever seen again, and the castle fell into disrepair, eventually crumbling. Centuries later, at this point, he's like arrived outside the bedroom door and just hasn't opened it yet. He's like holding a candelabra in his hands and telling you this story.
That kind of guy.
Centuries later, a successful merchant known as Wilfred Brand purchased the land and built a lovely manor through which we now walk. For himself and his family, of course. The Brands lived here peacefully for many years before eventually they too vanished without a trace. Some say Wilfred was possessed by the spirit of the bandit king and murdered his family, burying them alive in these very walls. He kind of like rubs a hand along the wall and some plaster falls off and he's like, oh. But of course, none of this has ever been substantiated. I personally have a great interest in such mysteries of the occult and the macabre, so it's my hope to get to the bottom of what exactly did happen here. You said you have encountered ghosts before, correct?
Yes, in a matter of speaking. I believe my daughter had a question.
Right.
Yeah, oh, I'm sorry. I was looking, in the moment.
No, I got it. Yeah.
No, that's okay. I was afraid to interrupt.
You seem to have said that before.
If
Oh, yes, I'd be lying if I said I didn't rehearse a few times.
if you take all of those things into account and disappearances and whatnot, isn't it dangerous to stay here and live here?
Well, I mean, you would assume so if these stories are true. But personally, there's too many holes for my liking. I mean, people don't just disappear without a trace.
Is
I
it
like-
holes with bodies?
Yeah, like that one right there.
How
I
long
pointed
have you
at the
been here?
Right, yes. I'm sorry?
How long have you been living here?
This is actually the first time I have entered the premise.
Oh, you just like called dibs on it.
You won this
Well,
in
I
like a
purchased,
card?
I own the deed. I am the
Oh.
owner of the property.
So you won
Oh.
this in a card game?
I'm not
so-
just squatting here. No, I purchased it. I told you.
Like on, but yeah, you told us this, but I thought it was done.
Right.
Like on,
Silence.
Well, no, I have told you. I told you.
you're interested in the
I
macabre.
go out and adventure a bit, and I like to discover things and get to the bottom of things.
Mhm.
I have always been drawn to the supernatural, things that are not common, things that are otherworldly. That
You should go to Mistadal. It's quite a place.
I've heard great things. Yes.
Great. So your plans for the house were to just investigate it and live in shambles?
Well, I mean, obviously, I'm going to fix it up over time, and a little bit of renovations have been started since before my arrival. I have a crew who comes out in the mornings, and
They haven't disappeared?
no,
They find any bodies in the walls?
no, but they haven't been. We haven't gotten to any. I don't want to change the bones, or do it. It's more of a renovation than a restructuring.
Should we start
I-
checking the walls?
Yeah, I do think
we
maybe
go
the
in this
bones
room?
have rotted.
Well, I don't think. Well, I mean, for one, it would be. Oh yes, sorry, excuse me. And he
Yeah,
opens
that'd be
the door.
nice. No, yeah. I think a candle was getting a little close to these very flammable walls.
He opens the door and leads you into the one of the bedrooms on the second floor.
This
Which-
one.
Yeah, it contains a sagging bed, a wardrobe, and a writing desk. This one does not have a fireplace, but yeah, he brings you in. Yes, so you're welcome to stay here. There's another room next door that is nearly identical, and a third just down the hall. If you took a right from the stairs, just referring to these three rooms.
I can go down the hall if you two want to be near each other, family or whatever.
But I also understand, things can be spooky. If you all wanted to stay in one place, I would not judge you.
Spooky. Shadowfell. I'll take the room just over if
We can
If
all
that's
share
okay.
one if y'all want to. I know you got a thing with ghosts.
I think everybody should do as they would like. Is that mold?
No, that is just water damage. I'm sure it's hot.
Is it
Oh,
mold?
look
Is
at
it mold? I want
Make
to
a
roll
nature
for
check.
mold.
Roll for mold.
No, honey, that's just caviar.
Wall caviar?
Sure.
That's a natural 20.
Oh my god, it's caviar.
On a natural 20, yes, it's definitely mold, but you actually know enough to know that this is not. It's more of like a moss than like a mold. It's less something that's going to give off dangerous spores and poison you, and more just like this place is old as fuck and nature is kind of making its way inside.
I can stay in the poisonous room.
I think they might all be fine, but
Yeah, we should be more specific.
but damp. It's damp. It's good, but it's damp.
So what is, so we're staying here out of the kindness of your heart. I imagine you have something in mind. We mentioned that we have run in with ghosts, and you are looking for some people who just saved you on the trail.
Right.
To-
Well, I mean, if you're interested, and I don't want to push anyone, against their own wills, but
Right.
I was actually planning to run a séance this evening to attempt to contact the spirits of this house and hopefully get to the bottom of this mystery.
Why would you?
Yeah, you're kind of knocking on the door. aren't you? I mean, a door that exists.
Do you mind if we do just like a rest for a little bit first? Just
Of course, yes. Please take your time, rest up. I'll go get dinner prepared. The
Sorry.
dining hall is actually downstairs. Oh, how do I give directions to this room? I'll come and fetch you.
Describe
when it's
maybe a landmark, like this door doesn't open, or there's this part of the ceiling over here is broken. You'll know you're in the right
Oh
place.
yeah, is there anywhere we can just drop down
You're
to the
right,
first
yeah,
floor?
I would recommend taking the stairs.
We've just recently done a. It's a secret, I guess.
I mean, you could go back past the parlor and the sitting room. There's a bit of a landing there. The ruined staircase leads up to the Widow's Walk. I haven't been really anywhere.
They call it the what?
It's the Widow's Walk. It is a feature of a number of manors. It's not specific to this place. It is, I believe, named because
Widows would walk.
widows would walk. Well, women would walk up and waiting for their husbands to come back from sea. It was a sort of lookout point from the top of the house where they would look out over the lands and wait to see their husbands' ships come back. But kind of dreary tone.
Yeah,
Sometimes they don't return, and it is just the widow's just up there every
I got
day,
it,
and
yeah.
he never comes back.
I think if I was like a sailor with a wife, I'd like it to be called like the wife of a sailor's walk.
Right? Yes,
Yeah.
that would be much
Oh, yeah.
nicer. Anyway, there's a staircase back there if you'd rather come down that direction, which would lead you.
The hopeful banister,
Oh, good.
something like
good.
that.
My husband is definitely going to return from sea. Room.
The longing, the longing.
Where we
Hole.
Can't wait to share some smooches. Room.
where we entered from the
Right.
main doorway.
Okay.
There's a hallway that leads to the rear of the house. From that point, it's the first door on your left down that hall.
First
It's the
door
dining
left.
room.
Dining hall. Right. Okay.
Should be ready in about an hour or two. I assure you, the kitchen is the first thing that we have remodeled. It is clean, and everything is up to whatever codes a tavern would have. So please find your rest and enjoy yourselves. Feel free to explore if you would like to, and I shall come and fetch you when dinner is ready.
Right. And a timetable of any sort.
he said
About
an hour.
an hour or two.
All right.
Cholula, I have to say, you look positively thrilled to explore this house.
Lord
I like
Witherby.
old houses.
Lord Witherby bows and takes his leave and heads downstairs.
I accept the bow.
So, weird
So-
guy. Walls are probably thin.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
I mean, older things are built better.
Sure.
That's probably why this house is still standing at all.
I'm glad we're in here for the first time with him. That's good. Good.
So he knows everything that somebody could know about a house their first time walking into it.
Well,
Does
that's-
it feel like there's ghosts here?
Make an insight check.
So maybe a Mistwalker lesson? Someone screams help, sometimes don't.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
It's the opposite of a natural 20.
Oh, natural one.
It's a natural 1.
Uh-oh.
An
I mean,
unnatural
nothing,
one.
nothing even remotely spooky has happened since you have walked into this house. It's old and it's creepy and it's dingy, and obviously based on the cobwebs alone, no one has been in here for quite some time, outside of maybe the people who were doing construction downstairs. But yeah, it doesn't seem haunted.
Do I have to do my rolly list?
You do! Oh, this is fun.
No, it's not. This is bad.
7.
4?
Okay.
The joke is that
One of these days, I will just, have this pulled up. You can roll a 1 at any minute, but today it's not.
I can, and guess what? I will.
So, I guess
You said, what did you roll again? I'm sorry.
4.
4.
as long as we're not involved in the seance, we can kind of just run protection, right? Like, he seems to have money, so that's fun. He's renovating a house that never asked for it. It didn't seem like he didn't seem to be shaken by, oh, I'm rebuilding it. He didn't seem like a burden.
Alma, funnily enough, this place doesn't seem haunted. As Silas is talking,
And I mean, look at
seems-
these keys.
he seems to be talking in slow motion. As everything around you slows,
Window.
you see almost overlaid with the run-down, decrepit structure that surrounds you is, like, behind it through a veil is this beautiful manor house. In the corner where there's just like a pile of, let me actually look and see if this is here. In the corner where there's just this like pile of broken and crusty wood.
Crusty.
Instead, there is like a beautiful, ornately carved chair that's pulled up to this writing desk. And for a moment, just looking around, you're seeing two places at once. You're seeing what this place used to be and what it currently is.
Like Anastasia.
And just as you're seeing a shadow pass by the doorway as if someone were walking by, it fades back and Silas's voice just kind of goes back into its normal.
At least they kept the original flaws, is what I'm saying.
And there's a split second where you're not sure if that shadow was in your vision or if it was outside the door.
Hey, did anybody walk by just now? The door?
Did I notice any?
Very funny,
outside the
Alma.
door?
No.
You're not still hearing voice. You said that you no longer hear you kind of.
Correct.
So yeah, you're.
So maybe we all just take a deep breath.
Yeah, it's kind of a.
Exactly. Do it like you can breathe water.
How about a deep breath that doesn't make me panic? How about one that just kind of sounds like air entering your body in a steady way and then exiting your body in a don't. Okay. So I think what has happened is this creepy man has taken us to a creepy house, and it's gotten the best of our brains. Did we see a shadow
My
while
brain is
Silas was
fine.
talking about architecture? Maybe. Is it in your head? Probably yes. Let's just run protection for this seance of sorts, because the things that are terrifying are real.
I just want to see if maybe there are some bones in the walls and maybe they got some stuff on them, like finding stuff.
Bones in the wall.
Wall bones.
Maybe there's some bones.
You might have to ask permission to.
This
There's
house?
some bones.
It's got great bones. Yes. No. It's well put together. Yes.
I'm so glad it wasn't me.
Did we get permission to open the walls?
I don't think we got permission to open the walls.
I
But how could you tell? He's only been here one time, and these walls are like this. And I'm just gonna grab a board and kind of pull a little bit.
Yeah, it crumbles a little bit at the edges, but it holds firm.
It's well made.
I mean, I think the beams, the structure is probably fine, but, the covering of the walls themselves
If you
will likely have to be replaced anyway.
if you find the places that have like dry rot, probably you could just kind of poke through it.
Yeah.
And see if perhaps there's bones.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps there's bones. And
Everybody
that's
likes a mystery.
I
hope
love a mystery.
maybe
I
the
hate
kitchen
the
or
part where
dining
there's
room-
ghosts. I thought you were putting something scary in, and I.
Do a roll initiative. No. Just for fun, I'm going to put you guys in the room having this conversation.
Can we be short resting while we're having this conversation?
Absolutely, you can.
Okay.
Do I get anything?
You can spend some hit dice to heal yourself if you're injured, but I don't think you would in that fight.
No, I hid behind a rock.
I am injured
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think sorcerers really
do you
get
want
anything
heals?
till fucking level 20 for short rest. Such bullshit.
But I'll never hit that.
Ooh.
So.
I'll do 3.
Wish my hair didn't touch my face.
Yeah, right. I get like a blemish where like the tip of my hair just gets.
It makes my face itch.
Yeah, and the nose, little nose touch. Kill me with a hammer.
So
Wow, that's a roll.
maybe, as much as I hate to say it, but to try and cover as much as possible, we could divide and conquer the bone search. Probably, even if there's ghosts, they can't do anything.
Let's let
I
him
mean, I
have-
do at least want to check out the room I'm probably going to be sleeping in.
Well, I'm just hoping the dining room doesn't smell like this room does. Yes, we can check out our rooms, but again, let's let him run his little séance, and then, yeah,
Sure.
I feel like, I mean, he owes us, sort of, but he's giving us a room to stay in, which is great. And I'm just gonna walk out into my
Also,
room.
Don't forget,
Which
if,
room do you go into?
Mine.
if things
This one?
Yeah.
go bad and we don't like it, we did pay for rooms in town,
That's true.
and we can always bounce. And that's the thing that we say. We can always just bounce and go back to town.
Just wow.
We can't just bounce. I say from my other room, like we can
Yeah,
bounce.
there's fully a hole in the wall that you guys can see each other through.
Right.
All right, well,
Are there
I
any
guess
bones
I'll-
in there?
Looking around?
Silas,
No, these aren't even like hollow walls, really.
Oh.
Silas,
Okay.
are there bones in your room? Any bones?
Make a perception check.
Passive is
Actually,
18, but I'll roll.
Make an investigation check
Ooh.
if you're searching for bones.
Threat check.
Investigate.
5.
5. You don't find any bones, but you do get this weird wave of deja vu where this room feels really familiar. And you have this brief moment, we don't have to do like full flashback or anything, but you have this brief moment of like, this is the exact layout of your room when you were a kid. When you come back from the mines and wipe the soot off of your clothes and put them in the little like hamper next to the wardrobe, and then plop down on your bed with your muscles weary from hours of swinging a pickaxe and building
Me and
those
my muscles.
forearm muscles down in the mines in Borka. It was the same layout as this room, and then it passes, just like a weird feeling.
Can I do an internal insight check?
Mm-hmm.
No bones to speak of, and I'm just gonna kind of like, is there a window?
Yeah, there's a window.
I'm gonna walk to that and have a think.
For sure. What is it you're trying to garner with this insight check?
Can I dig deeper into this bedroom? Can I like, having that
like,
bit of
expand
deja
on
vu,
that- on
yeah,
that
can I
image?
like dig further?
Yeah. Yeah, go for it. Make an insight check.
Get your shovel out.
Grip
Fucking
it. Fucking rip it, bro. Fucking.
Grab it and rip it, please.
Listen, man, I'm sorry. My boba tea is empty.
There's still plenty of bobas in
Well, I have bubbles, but when I try to slurp them, it goes.
That's why we got the mics.
That's what the people are here for.
That's what they're here for. They're here for the slorp. 26.
26.
Beans.
I'm going to throw it over to you, actually. Mm-hmm. Looking out the window, it's clearly a different view. You do see a light mist rolling in over Vafogenshire, kind of rolling up from the Sea of Squalls. This is not Borka, obviously. But you think on that memory, and what was Silas's childhood home like in Borka?
I'd imagine very lonely. Like, between what was necessary and what was work, and what was there wasn't like free time, fun time. It was very much just like utilitarian.
Yeah, and it was very much.
And the house reflected that, just kind of like Spartan, like workspaces, sleep spaces. No, there wasn't fun.
You never got. There was never like a this is why we're doing this. You knew that your parents weren't merchants because they worked in the mines just like you did. And you know that after you would mine a sufficient amount of gems, they were then shipped off to another person within the mines who kind of oversaw the exporting of goods from that space. So it was not only mindless, but you never got answers as to like, where are these gems going? Who are these gems for? Why are we down here doing this? And anytime you tried to bring it up, your father was always he wasn't much one for words. More of like you ask a question and you get a grunt as a response, kind of man.
No bones. I think I said that. I'm sorry.
That means there's definitely no bones.
Said it twice. Makes it true.
All right, well, are you going to go investigate your space for bones?
No, I was planning on it, but if you want me to go with you, we can do, one at a time.
No, it'll be fine. There's no ghosts here.
Okay. I'll just be down the hall.
Okay.
All right.
Going down the hall.
You go down the hall
Down
to
the
your
hall.
Down the hall.
On the hall.
You see a long.
Oh, our game? We go down the hall.
So we can just buy ours.
You see a long wooden bed frame. You can make an investigation check if you want to look around.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a 920, baby!
Hey!
Hey!
Hey. Look at this guy.
This little guy.
You don't find any bones, but as you're going to kind of look around, you drop down to kind of look under the bed, and a little glint catches your eye. And as you reach in and grab it, you pull out what appears to be a small diamond-shaped locket just under the bed.
Is it on a chain or just the locket?
It's just the locket.
Okay.
Just the pendant, I should say.
The hinges, is it open?
There's a latch, like it should open, but when you go to try and open it, it is like kind of crusted and caked shut. You can make an athletics check if you would like to try and force it open.
I was gonna say I might pull out my paring knife and try to pop it with that.
Yeah, make an athletics check with advantage.
Okay. Get me out of here. Get me back over here. What? What? Wow.
Very advantageous.
Very athletic. That brings us to a 10.
10? 10 is actually exactly what you needed.
Okay.
What kind of locket is this?
You manage to not slip and cut your hand even as
Yay.
the locket pries open, and looking in, you see two small, faded paintings, but like very small, very detailed paintings of what looks to be a young boy and a young girl.
Oh, this paint
Maybe
must
like-
have been done by a mouse.
Maybe like age 5 to 8 for either one, but it's hard to tell.
Okay. I'm gonna pocket that.
Yeah, you do so.
Pocket that locket.
I'm sorry, did you drop your intelligence way down?
It must have been done by a mouse.
Oh shit. I didn't know mice could paint.
She looks back under the bed, little brushes, little easel.
At about this point,
so
a knock
sorry.
comes at your door, Alma. Hello?
Yes?
Hi.
Oh, sorry.
Hello?
I thought it was.
Oh, no, I came up to grab all of you. Dinner is ready. If you'd like to join me downstairs in the dining room, I can lead the way.
Well, sure.
Sure.
Yeah, yes.
Excellent, please, follow me.
Who did you say built this place? You were talking, and you mentioned so many proper nouns that I maybe spaced a bit.
No worries, no worries. It's quite a story, because, well, first it was owned by Count Petri Sonvel. He built the castle that was on this plot, and further. Most of the grounds actually were the castle. What are the grounds now? Then it was conquered by One-Eyed Crumb, Bandit King.
But then, who was the architect for this particular building?
Oh, this building was, I don't know if it was built by or if it was merely commissioned by Wilfert Brand, a local merchant.
What a name. Strong, coincidental name. Yeah. Do I know that
Do
name?
you know a Willifort?
No, it's just phonetically similar to another name that I... Did we... No, I mean, we've already asked you about that. What are we expecting for dinner?
I have a lovely dinner prepared. It's still in the kitchen. I will bring it out. I'll lead you to the dining room and bring it right in. He leads you down the stairs and kind of around to the right, curving around. And just for funsies.
You're good.
He died.
If you need to take the top.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're lumber.
My rubble. It's okay, I'll just toss it wherever. That's kind of the vibe. Right here, we have the dining hall. If you'd like to place yourselves.
I'll be up here.
This is nice.
And while you guys are here, our friend goes into the kitchen to fetch things. Stepping into the dining room, as he kind of like points you at the door, the dining room is right through this way. I will go grab the food and be right with you. Stepping in, chairs and candelabras covered in dusty sheets attend this hall's broad dining table. Still life paintings depicting various feasts hang on the walls at odd angles, their faded oil paints making the food look rotten. A sideboard rests at one of the walls, in which you can see a number of cracked dishware, and you also...
Cyborg?
Sideboard.
Sideboard.
Sideboard. Like a... It's like a cabinet for...
Yeah,
like,
no,
dishes
I
and
know what it
silverware.
is. I just heard
I heard
cyborg.
cyborg.
I'm like,
A cyborg.
hanging
A
out.
cyborg rests at the... Yeah.
You didn't even mention it?
Hello. Sup? Creepy place, huh?
Welcome through
I'm like
my
half
dining room.
scared.
You also notice, all of you immediately, a conspicuous form about the size of a halfling or child that appears to be seated within one of the chairs beneath a sheet.
Hey. Before dinner comes out,
Yes?
quick question
What's
Can
up?
I
about the decorations in this room, please, currently.
Can I move the sheet?
Yeah, Alma, you lift up the sheet, and seated beneath this dusty old sheet is a ragged doll in a frilly red dress with a white patch covering one missing button eye.
No.
Willifert comes through the door with hands full of plates.
I'm pointing at it with my sword, actually.
Oh,
This? Yours?
No, not mine. It probably belonged to the Brands. Sorry, they had 2 children, and he kind of like sets these platters down on the table.
I'm gonna pick up the doll, and I'm gonna walk to the other room, the entry room. Is there space under the stairs?
Yeah, you can put the creepy doll under the stairs if you'd like to do that.
I'm gonna put the creepy doll under the stairs facing the wall.
I'm like following Alma with the sword, pointing at it.
And then I'm gonna put the sheet back over it.
I'm going to make a quick note of that.
I hate that you're making a note of that.
Fun. We're all having fun. Cool. Neat.
As
You picked a very thematic place to put that. That's fun.
Lord Witherby joins you.
I like whip the cloth off of my chair.
Excellent.
So, what's for dinner? A quick, small appetizer of a meal that is just small and not a long time.
Sorry, give me just
Are you not hungry?
Oh,
For dinner, Lord Fritz Witherby has prepared a number of roasted pheasants with garlic mashed potatoes, crispy sprouts, and brown gravy and pork sausages.
Hell yeah.
So he sets everything out for you
This
on
is
the
nice.
table.
That's good. That's,
Please, dig in. Sorry, I probably should have done like a once-over. I wasn't expecting guests.
No, yeah, of course. You would have found that on your own. Can I inspect this meal?
Yeah, to see if it's like poisoned.
Any of that?
Yeah, make an investigation check. You see as he piles a serving from each plate onto his plate and starts eating.
18.
18. Based on the fact that he just did that, probably it's safe.
They're really talented poisoners. You know, that they can eat
true.
stuff.
That's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
build up resistances.
Build up resistance.
But you don't. It doesn't. It actually all smells really good. It as soon as the food is brought in and placed out on the table, it overpowers the musty scent of the rest of the house, and gives you a brief respite of just delicious food smell in lieu of old, dusty, musty house.
Yeah, I'm digging
Dusty
in.
musty
I'll eat.
house.
It's not a concern of mine, but my compatriots. Silas feels within him that he cannot be diseased or poisoned. You know when you wake up that day and you're like, this is not going to happen to me. You just decide you're not going to be diseased.
Every day I
I've
wake up and
decided
I
I'm going to feel good
assume
for the rest of
probably
my
I'm going to be a little poisoned. I have many intolerances.
I don't want to age anymore, and it's just a decision I made when I was younger.
I want that.
So, where are you from?
Here?
That's probably just the house settling.
Here?
You're from Grimdal.
Yeah.
Mephalgunshire?
No, we had asked about it before. I believe it was Borka.
I'm from Mistinor.
Right.
I kind of just found out about that though, so it feels weird to say.
Interesting.
I think I'm from Waterdeep. I'm from Waterdeep, right?
You were born in Water.
Okay, great. I'm from Waterdeep.
Oh, you are related.
Correct.
Yes, when I said my daughter earlier, I meant it.
I see. I'm sorry. I see the resemblance.
This is my father.
Sorry, my mind has been.
It's the nose.
I'm still kind of, lingering.
We
on
had
those,
to leave my mom at home.
I'm still lingering on those creatures that were chasing after me with hooks for hands.
Yeah, you should try living with them.
It makes the house seem not that bad in comparison, if I'm being honest.
Well,
Just a little smelly.
But please, dig in.
We've been into lots of smelly places, and this isn't like the smelliest. The
We
whale
have
was
been-
the smelliest.
It's pretty
Sewers.
smelly. It smells pretty bad. I'll be
oh, you have not been to Chill Run.
You
They
have
had
not been
heart
in a
full of
whale.
Waterfalls, shitfalls.
Shitfalls.
Shit,
They had
waterfalls.
shit
And we went
falls.
down
Very
there.
little water. They had
Fascinating.
filtered that out.
This is the place you said I should go visit.
Well, aside
No,
from
no,
that,
that was
it's
missed.
great.
That was
This was-
Mistinol,
this
yes.
was children.
No, this is good. You're quite a cook.
Well, thank
We fixed up the whole sewage system.
Yeah, no, there's no longer shit in the heart.
situation.
Excellent. That is good to know. And thank you for the praise. My parents were not big on, my noble hands should not, be sullied in the kitchen and things of that nature. But I always found it very therapeutic, preparing different dishes and tasting something delicious that you created with your own hands is.
Yeah, no,
So you from here?
I am, yes, born and raised in Mephalgunshire.
So
disgraced even.
we need
Quietly,
tea.
but yes.
Yeah,
The whole
a bit
thing
of
with your
tea.
sister.
And a couple questions afterwards, if you don't mind.
Right, sure. Yes, and we can talk as we eat. And afterwards, I figured I have a little setup in the parlor upstairs where we can do the séance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, with my sister. So, as I've mentioned multiple times now, I like to, whenever I can, get out of Mephalgunshire and explore the greater Grimdal at large. There are so many fascinating things to come across in this land. Some terrifying, but some beautiful, some intoxicating. And you meet certain types of people while you're out there. A particularly rowdy bunch of crazy, honestly, just crazy people. we refer to them colloquially as the champions of filth. This strange religious group who follows the Drought Lord, and they view pestilence and plague as being very, as if the gods are attempting to cleanse us with these things. Very much, not so much survival of the fittest, but more like, only the strong survive kind of thing. There's a tale about them
hand in hand.
Yes, there's a tale of them traveling to Nettlethorpe when the Weeping Pox took hold there, and actually entering the city through quarantine. And though many of them died, a certain few survived, and they have been traveling across. They've been using it as sort of a hub for themselves, traveling out and spreading the word of the Drought Lord. Really, and I don't say this lightly, really nasty folks in terms of just not even like just the fact that they're kind of covered in pox scars and things, but just very rude, I find. I'm sorry, I'm rambling.
What do you mean, like nasty?
Right.
They nasty.
Yes, they nasty. I caught wind that my sister, the mayor of Vifolgenshire, was being targeted by not that specific group, but another group that exists within these lands, and that essentially there was a price on her head, and assassins had been hired to take her out. And I know more than most that she likes less than anything to be gone around. She very much likes to take things into her own hands, be in charge of her own fate. So, stupidly, instead of just telling her about this, I took some old antiques that were within our manor, Fianna House. You probably saw it. It's the garish mansion up on the hill in town. Not this one, the other one.
Well, this one's garish for other reasons.
Yes. I took some old antiques that no one was using, and I sold them and paid off these would-be assassins.
To whom? Who are these would-be assassins, if you don't mind me asking?
The assassins themselves, their group, what were they called? The knife fangs? Something about sharp teeth.
Okay.
They had been hired by
Knife mouth.
They had been hired by someone else who was hired by someone else, basically, to go and, take care of the Mayor Witherby. So I sold some of our antiques and paid them off, and thankfully it seems that has been enough to keep them at bay. But my sister still does not know about this. All that she knows is that I stole some heirlooms from the house, and she presumes it was for gambling or something or other. And I was quietly kicked out, as it were.
Have you tried perhaps explaining and apologizing?
No.
These heirlooms are probably...
I would love to. I haven't tried.
They're probably more important than you're letting on than...
What?
The heirlooms.
They were, these aren't groups that usually can just, you can't usually just go to someone and be like, I'll pay you double if you stop doing this. You kind of have to, things have to be priceless. Or
Give them something they can use.
So what were they?
desirable. One of them was an old wheelchair that my father used that had all sorts of mechanisms, and he had several artificers tinker with it and add in different, arcane bits here and there to help him get around the estate. And the other was just an old glass orb that had always been kind of on a pedestal on top of a pillow behind a glass case in the sitting room in Fianna House.
He was done using the wheelchair, though.
Yes, he's been dead for years.
Okay, just
Yeah,
just wanted to
worth
clear that
checking.
one up. That'd be odd. That's
Yes,
not an
no, I did
heirloom.
not
That's a useful item.
Right, no, I did not steal it from him while he was alive.
I was
No, it
gonna
was,
say, I don't know if she's gonna.
again, but all of these things,
Forgive you
both of these
that
things were just sitting around. They weren't being used.
Right.
I didn't want to take anything that was
Things in glass cases are meant to not be used. Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's just, it's just sitting there for you to look at. And you can only ponder an orb for so long. So I'm told.
Some people spend their whole lives pondering orbs.
It is kind of like, you know how Bramble Manor used to have all those, it was just tea sets everywhere.
Those were gifts.
But like,
The dignitaries and all,
there
you
were
know.
100 tea sets.
Well, people like to make deals and sweeten the deals, and they thought tea sets were a good gift.
Right, but like, we could have sold them before the manor got ransacked. And we probably would have made like 100
We
million
weren't
golds in.
Present to sell those, were we?
Well, but if you had never had them in the first place.
Yeah, well, you try to tell your mother not to have shiny, pretty things.
How many tea sets did you get just when you got married?
Oh, when we got married, it was at least 8. And that's small. I was expecting more because there was a lot of people at that wedding.
Yeah. Was the rest of it cutlery? The
No.
rest of it was cutlery, wasn't it?
No, it was
Forks?
silks and things. They were like elven things, like
A tree.
things that no one could ever have again, kind of stuff.
My.
Things older than time. A piece of a tree. Yeah, no, you're joking, but I think we got a piece of a tree. You go and write that in your book.
Fascinating.
Piece of a tree.
Was there like cultural significance?
Was there a
or was
purpose?
I think it was some forest far off, maybe Vasica.
But
Some
it wasn't,
piece.
it was just, have this.
Was it like
Elves. Elves, trees.
petrified or something?
They have closets for farting. You know what I mean? Like they're odd.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
that's fair.
don't know much about elven culture, but I have heard about the Sora Sombra.
The sort of sombra, yes. The peek behind the curtain.
And also,
The wind room.
if the fruit has a peel, we don't acknowledge that.
Right, yes, orange. Apparently they don't have a word for the color orange. Did you know that?
No, they have a word for the color orange, not for the fruit orange.
Right. Oh, he
Not
takes
the
out his
same.
notebook and scratches something out and makes an amendment. I see.
Not the same.
Fascinating.
Yeah, you can write in there if there's any doors to a small closet where it looks like they've done a lot of effort to keep it airtight. Avoid that closet. That's not where you put your jacket.
Noted. Fascinating.
There is a man in there and he does have pink eye.
I see.
Yes,
I see.
yes, he can't.
Well, I think I'm all full up. Can I take your plates?
Sure. Yeah, no, yeah. Good.
Takes your plates away from you. Feel free to pack up anything if you want any leftovers. Once again, I've made too much food.
Did you bring containers for packing away food?
Or Tuppingwares.
Or tippingware?
I have these wax wraps.
Tub of holding.
Good.
I want to play just like a soccer mom so bad. Like a 90s movie soccer mom.
Okay, everybody get your juice pouch box.
A cleric. No, we'll see you after the stream.
Is there anywhere in the house, just out of curiosity, that you would prefer we don't go?
Yes.
Great. Where?
The 2 bedrooms that are down the way from where I believe Miss Duvet is staying. It has been expressed to me by the previous owner that there are some structural issues in those rooms. So I'm not saying like you have to stay out, but you can pretty clearly see, where the floor is kind of rotted away. Just be careful.
Just structural reasons?
Yes.
Okay.
So you can look at it, but don't try to walk around in there.
The room below it, could you see these structural issues?
Now that you mention it, yes, there's a lot more plaster on the floor in those rooms. Follow me, I'll show you to the parlor, and you actually bring up an interesting point. And he kind of leads you through out of the dining room back to the upstairs.
Upstairs.
Quite sure.
Wow, that burp was working harder than I was.
There we are. Oops,
Oh no, he's dead. He's a
should have probably taken you out before I put the lid on. He leads you back out, up the stairs, to the left, and into the parlor.
The parlor.
Kind of place you guys around for now.
Just a little pause, gentlemen.
Something got shifted at some point. There we go. All right.
It was my brain.
Wasn't me. Stepping in, you see dozens of faded portraits that cover the parlor's walls. The subject's eyes all seem to be fixed on a circular table at its center. Several oil lamps give the space a dim light from the walls. They look to be oil lamps, but you can see that they're definitely arcane in nature. So, this is where I'm planning to carry out the séance.
Have you ever done a séance before?
I have done a couple. As he kind of reaches into his coat pocket and produces a small, hinged and folded wooden rectangle
I wonder what's over there.
from within his vest.
Probably nothing.
That's probably not even anything.
It's probably not even anything.
He unfolds it and places it on the table to reveal an ornately designed board. The top left and right corners.
Oh, Cameron.
Witty.
They probably can't see that at home, but we've got a spirit board here.
We could probably, if you wanted to shift the set this way.
Yeah, for now it's fine.
Okay.
We'll read through this because there's a bit more to it.
Imagine a spirit board.
He unfolds it and places it to reveal an ornately designed board. The top left and right corners are illustrated with images of the sun and a crescent moon, respectively, with the words yes and no written next to them.
Yes. No.
The alphabet of the common tongue curves across the center of the spirit board in two neat lines. Beneath that is a row of numbers, 1 through 9 with a 0 on the end. And at the bottom of the board, it simply says goodbye. This is a spirit board. Are you familiar?
And would I be
Unfortunately.
familiar with this?
You guys can choose whether or not you would be familiar with a spirit board.
I'm aware of it. I don't know if I've used one.
Alma's original design had a planchette on it, so I will assume.
For sure,
But
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, she had a planchette on her at one point. There are a few things to note when using one of these tools. The first of which is to always be respectful. The second is that you should never, under any circumstances, leave the planchette on the board without at least one hand touching it. That is this. This is a planchette. It is a little sort of spade shape that you will place on the board, and the spirits acting through us will move it to different letters, or yes or no, or if they are done speaking, they will place it to goodbye to close out the board. The third rule is that you should use a number of conductors or items that may have a link to one or more spirits that you are trying to contact. I thought perhaps if you are interested, we could scour the house for items that may have belonged to the former owners. If you have any interest in doing such thing, it could make for a better, stronger connection.
Oh, you're expecting us to be a part of the séance?
Well,
If
yeah.
you are comfortable. If not, you do not have to participate. I was going to carry it out either way, so I would love the company, but if that sort of thing skeeves you out, I fully understand.
Yeah, I can go find some stuff.
I'm glad to help you find objects, but I won't be touching that.
What happens if
That's fine.
you leave it on and nobody's hands on it?
They say that can open portals to other realms and allow things to pass through. So if there perhaps weren't spirits here before, doing something like that could open the gate for there to be spirits in the future, or perhaps other things.
Fun. I can help dig up some room stuff, some things in rooms.
Excellent. The last rule is that you should never fully trust the words of the dead. If they were liars in life, they could very well be liars in death. But I will continue to get things set up here. There's lots of candles and trinkets and things. If you wouldn't mind looking around for some potential conductors, just meet me back here when you found something or if you have given up.
Okay.
Great.
So. Oh, yeah, perfect.
There we go.
Should still rotate.
So, where's everybody headed to search for potential conductors? Go ahead and give me a room, and then we'll go in order of your fate rolls, unless you want to stick together, which is also you're more than welcome to do. But yeah, you tell me.
I wanted to find that Widow's Walk area.
Excellent. Yeah, easy enough. It's actually, Alma, you head out the room and around the corner, and you see what was described. There's a stairwell that leads down to the kitchen, which peering down, you can still smell the recently cooked food down there. And you also see this pile of rubble that looks like it used to be a staircase. And about 20 feet up is a trapdoor.
Yeah, I'd like to see what that trapdoor is about.
Absolutely. So, getting closer, you get the sense pretty immediately that these stairs are about unusable. And if you'd like to, you can make an athletics check to get up to the door to the Widow's Walk, or if you would like to use your wings.
Yeah, how much space do I have?
I'd say there's enough space.
Yeah, I'll just...
Excellent. Yeah, I mean, mechanically, you don't get any like drawbacks from your wings.
Yeah.
So,
But reasonably, if I was in a teeny tiny little room, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Alma, as you head up through the trapdoor, you find yourself outside as the sun is just beginning to... Actually, the sun is already set at this point. And you're looking out over this beautiful view of Verfogenshire. And you can see the lights of different businesses and things just twinkling off in the distance. And further past that, the harbor that's kind of down that steep cliff face. And you've got this beautiful view of this countryside as this thick mist is beginning to roll in. Or continuing to roll in, I should say.
That mist seems fine, right?
Yeah, I mean, it seems natural. And
Okay.
make a nature check.
Natural.
16.
16? Yeah, it seems fully natural.
Good.
That a mist would be coming in from a sort of like bay area.
The sea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where's everybody else headed?
I want to head to the rooms that are structurally unsafe.
Okay.
Good.
Excellent. Cholula.
Somebody had to.
Yeah, somebody's gonna look at them.
Cholula heads down the hall. Do you want to go into the first one or the second one?
I probably start at the end of the hall, work my way back.
Oh,
Excellent.
is that why they have green floors?
Maybe. Stepping in.
Well, opening the door, I'm not like stepping on the floor right away. I'm gonna
Okay,
take
yeah.
a look at it.
Leaping in.
Opening the door. This room appears to be another dirty, decaying bedroom without furniture. Even viewed from the doorway, it is evident that the floor here does not look safe. Some of the floorboards are missing, and others are partially dislodged.
And there's nothing in there?
Make a perception check.
28.
28. You do see something odd on sitting like across the room on the windowsill is this strangely shaped glass eye. That's all that you can make out from here.
Okay. Is there like a chandelier or anything in here?
There's not a chandelier in this bedroom,
It's a
no.
heavy question.
Hey, I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
It's good to ask.
Are there like are the ceilings
Monkey bars.
like the ones here? Like are there what are
beams?
beams?
Make a straight luck check. Roll a d20 on a 15 or higher, then there are monkey bar-esque beams across the ceiling.
I didn't mean like ridiculous, but maybe she could still.
That's a 9.
9?
Nine.
No, smooth ceiling except for where there's holes and clear evidence of water damage.
So sorry. I usually do it into my shirt.
But now,
We went outside today.
there's a mic
Yeah.
there.
I've
Why would you do that?
Allergies have been kicking my ass today too, and I haven't gone outside.
I swept.
We did it. We did it for a while.
Yeah, the ceiling is smooth yet rotted, and yeah, you can see streaks where the water has for years just run down the same spots on the wall.
Okay. Then I am going to. Hold on.
She's up to something.
Up to something.
She's up to something.
Up to something.
That was weird. I was practicing that earlier. It's deep and nasally.
Yeah,
It's not
very
right.
strange.
And he enunciates, but doesn't.
Weasley. It's Leviosa.
Stop.
Up to something. Whoosh. Well-timed whoosh.
Well timed whoosh.
I hope that's the subtitle for that scene.
Well timed.
Whip. Whip.
Okay.
Shoot.
I'm going to take out a couple of pythons,
Okay.
and I would like to
Fix it.
try to flat against the wall because I know that structure is still standing,
Yeah.
and there would be beams underneath it. I'm gonna use the pythons to kind of keep myself safe so that if the floor does break through, I can stick those into the wall and try to keep myself from dying or whatever.
Absolutely.
Probably would die.
Yeah, so
Right.
keeping yourself kind of fastened, you stick the 2 pythons in and start taking a couple steps across the floor, keeping the pythons in the wall. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw with advantage.
Okay.
Bloop.
Let's see if you roll your classic advantage stuff. Nope. Already a good start. So you get 5 and
28.
5.
28. 28 is enough. The floor does begin to collapse beneath you, but with your trusty gloves of climbing still attuned, you manage to cling to the wall, and thankfully the plaster and the wood therein, you kind of can space out where the wooden beams are, because the plaster is molded and crumbling away, and it is too easy to pierce this wall with these pythons.
Oh, gross. It's like sponge.
Yeah, but it does hold your weight, and there are enough planks and floorboards sticking out that you can kind of hold yourself there. However, that being said, looking down through the hole, you see
Spikes.
you see no, you see into
Snakes. It's snakes.
you see into the room below you
Fire.
downstairs. You see a crusty old chair that sits beside a fireplace that's been stained black from years of fires within its hearth, and a large amount of plaster and now wood bits that have fallen from the ceiling. But other than that, that room seems mostly bare.
Okay.
But yeah, you make it to the window.
Yeah.
Excellent. You grab the little eyeball.
Does it look?
Like a,
That's a great question. It is an eye.
Has it followed me?
Oh, interesting.
Oh.
Make a perception check.
Okay. Okay.
does it look
Perception or insight? Insight. Your choice.
the quiche to the city?
Perception is 26.
Insight.
26. It actually does look for a moment like it is, like the pupil is following you.
Okay.
But then you realize that as you get closer, it's a glass eye, and a lot of people think that glass eyes are like spheres, but they're actually more of this kind of flat curved shape that don't go fully spherical in the back. And you notice that behind it is just a little worm crawling through the wood that it has been kind of moving alongside.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna nab it.
Yeah, you do so. The worm is jostled for a moment, but continues
I apologize.
continues crawling. And yeah, you can add strange glass eye to your inventory.
Nice.
Glass.
Silas, where do you head?
I was gonna look through the hole in the ceiling where the chimney was and head towards where I think a fireplace would be.
Okay. Downstairs?
Yes.
Excellent.
Like where it would lead.
So, Silas, you
We're
head
going
downstairs.
down, down, and then around.
And I would say probably...
Oh no, you lost
Oh God, that sounded like a lot.
Fritz.
It was just Fritz.
Fritz.
Fritz. Yeah. You make your way down the stairs, have a brief moment where you kind of like jump and catch yourself as you see the doll under the stairs.
Jump scare.
Oh my. Under the stairs, very good.
And yeah, just like its head just kind of like turns to the side. Like
Awful.
it doesn't like turn, but just kind of like slumps,
Big no.
facing you as you make your way
No.
around.
I'll go into that room that
This one?
If I can see the chimney through that door, I'll just dip in here.
Excellent, yeah. I would say that you can do that. Stepping in, you find yourself in a room where swollen furniture faces a handsome concert harp, dramatically sculpted with a flock of flying doves up its side. Other than that, the room is dusty and the furniture seems saggy, damp, and no longer soft. But there's this beautiful harp within the room and then a doorway that leads into
Yeah,
it.
I'll just kind of like move about and just kind of like brush, just kind of like nonchalantly.
Ladybug, sorry.
Yeah, that's not a normal reaction to a ladybug.
We're doing spooky stuff. Excellent, yeah, you kind of like brush
Your
your
reaction
hands.
was like a 4-foot ladybug was. Shadow.
You brush your hands along the harp. Go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. 10.
Excellent.
Is it?
Make a performance check.
Oh.
As you brush your fingers along the harp,
What am
you
I
find yourself
overlooking?
compelled to play it.
13.
13. Excellent.
I'm like walking by, just brushing it, and then I just like stop and like dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
Yeah,
Oops.
you start flawlessly playing a fast-paced, glass-sharp tune that you've never heard before. You play the song brilliantly, but as you do, for the next minute, actually, you know what, let's do this. Four, that would be, I'm gonna say, yeah.
A lot of 4s.
Cocked.
Sounds like 4s.
Cocked.
Dice cock.
Nice cock.
You take 15 points of slashing damage as your fingers are
Fucking
just shredded and cut across these harp strings messily as you continue to play and are compelled to do so. I'm going to say after about 30 seconds, everyone can roll initiative really quickly.
Okay.
No.
Dirty 20.
I'm living in hell.
There's a jail. Last time you filled up your jail, the dice started to roll better.
All right, 20 for Silas. Anybody get higher than that?
28.
28 for
Because-
Oh, I thought
Well-
I thought we were doing a thing where you were like, good for you.
Great for you. You built a character that can't roll under 20.
What,
So
what's
4.
4? Okay.
Yeah, it's an initiative. It's not another
Yeah.
Excellent.
flashback.
I wrote your name as Almab.
Hold back.
Almab.
Alma. All right.
Almab.
Cholula, you're up first. You hear.
Is there, what was that?
All map?
Your roll.
Total?
Yeah.
4.
No, the dice.
1.
Natural one. Oh,
Okay.
you need to roll a thing.
Oh no.
Okay,
was
that's
gonna
where my
ask-
brain was going.
I
It
was
took a
gonna
long
ask,
time to get
is
through
that
it.
initiative or
That'll be an
ability?
initiative.
Were you there?
We'll hit that on almost turn. Let me put a little star here.
3. I think that's bad.
1, 2, 3.
Excellent. I did not get rid of that tab, so excellent.
Oh, bad.
Excellent.
Bad. It's bad.
Okay, until the end of the next one. Excellent. We'll get to that in a moment.
It's really fucking bad.
Cholula, you've just snatched
Night.
this little eye and pocketed it,
Yeah.
and kind of have your hands back on your
Mine
python.
now.
And you're making your way back across the wall towards solid ground again, and you hear this lovely sound of a harp being played coming from downstairs.
Do I have agency while I'm playing, or is
do
it
not.
just okay?
For the next minute, you do not.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see what that's about.
Excellent. Make an athletics check with advantage
Okay.
as you use your pythons to just climb down the wall, I assume. Because it's like coming, you can tell that it's coming from like the next room downstairs.
Oh, he gave me this ring. Can I just fall?
If you'd like to use your charge of the ring, yeah.
Is it a once per day or something? It doesn't say. It just says when you fall while wearing this ring, you descend 60 feet per round and take no damage from falling.
Yeah, it's like a one sentence card.
Let me look into this. That might just be
That you just have feather
definitely,
fall now.
yeah. No, yeah. You just have that.
Cool.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, you just fall gracefully and silently land on your feet. No roll required.
Yay!
And yeah, with your movement, I would say it doesn't take you any movement to fall. You just do that.
Yeah.
And so yeah. Where?
Just falls like in the doorway.
Here she is.
Silas have arrived.
Basically. So yeah, if you'd like to use your movement to step into this room, you can do that.
Yeah.
All right, so that's 5, 10. You get to about here, and you see Silas standing at this harp, bleeding from the hands, with his brow furrowed, looking down at it, and he's playing beautifully, but his hands are getting fucking shredded, and he does not seem like he's going to stop.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to pull him off
Excellent.
and snap him out of it.
Yeah, go ahead and make a strength check. Just a straight strength.
Strength.
That's what I'm known
check.
for.
Sprint.
It's not a super high DC.
4.
4 is not enough. Silas
Would-
is like a
His
fucking...
forearms are so
Yeah,
strong.
he is
He's attached.
he is planted firmly like a tree and is just tickling those strings and just ripping the shit out of his fingers.
Does that count as my whole turn?
It's your action to do so. You have a bonus action still.
Great bones.
I would like
Great
to,
Great forearm bones.
I guess since I'm trying to make the flavor seem realistic and not just like, here's what I have left. Maybe like as I'm pulling on Silas still and realizing that he's not letting go, I'm gonna use my bonus action to call out the dancing sword to slash the strings.
Interesting.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and make an attack roll.
Okay. 24.
24. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. Straight damage or because Silas and I
Gay
guess you're not threatening. Is that how that works?
Yeah, this isn't. You
It's
wouldn't
not
get
like-
sneak attack on this harp. No.
Okay.
It is threatening me.
Just
It is threatening you. Or is it? Or is there something else at play?
It loves me.
It's actually a ghost with a knife just sawing his fingers.
7.
7. Your dancing sword pulls out of its sheath and whips across the strings and just adds a flourish to the song, but they do not seem damaged in the least.
Okay. Even that's okay. It's a magic little sword.
It is.
Okay.
It appears this might also be a magical harp.
Yeah.
Ending Cholula's turn, that brings us to Silas. You continue playing, and you take another point of slashing damage. Let's see, that was 5. That was our 6th round. I will go ahead and let you know mechanically, unless you are pulled away or someone like forces you to stop, you will continue taking a d4 of slashing damage at the top of every turn for the remainder of the minute, which is going to be another 4 rounds.
Could I rage?
I'm going to say, as is the verbiage of this harp, no, you
Okay.
cannot. You are fully focused on. You are essentially where's the word? Not restrained. The other one.
Incapacitated.
Incapacitated. There it is. Thank you. Excellent. That's going to bring us to Alma.
Things are going well here.
Yes.
I think that
Alma,
maybe...
I need you to make a perception check with disadvantage because you are up on the Widow's Walk outside of the house.
We should assume that things are just going really, really good here, and that nothing.
Oh, right.
Bad.
No.
Yeah, I'm doing something else.
Yeah, that's right.
I had a bad time.
You're up on the Widow's Walk.
Yeah. Perceiving time and space differently.
Yeah. You are blinded to your actual surroundings because as you stand up on the Widow's Walk, you see as the town kind of flickers and shifts and buildings look like they're in different places. There's still a harbor, but it's got a different shape to it. It's got a different curve. You're no longer you're still atop a hill, but the rest of the landscape like deforms to something else in an instant. And you watch as you can't see past the harbor because there is just a wall of mist. Make a quick history check with advantage.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You see the shoreline of Port Alusine, shoreline you are familiar with, because you spent many years here as your mother devolved into madness and your father became a drunk, and you basically had to take care of yourself as you are looking out over the city of Port Alusine. And you get this shudder as chills run down your spine, and instinctively you slowly turn and look over your right shoulder, and there you see this figure dressed all in black with pale, like alabaster skin, wearing a white mask over her face with feathers splaying out from this strange sort of Venetian-style mask, as she looks at you for a moment and says, "Aren't you coming back to the party, darling?" And as she reaches out to put a hand on your shoulder, your turn ends. She vanishes.
That lasts until the end of my next turn.
Oh, and the end of your next turn.
Yes.
Whoa.
I just don't want to ruin the vibe here.
Yeah, that blows. Okay, so yeah, she begins reaching out to you, and that's where we will end your turn, and we will hop back to the top of the round, Cholula.
Okay. I am. Hold up.
May I scream? Am I allowed to scream? Not really.
Would
in
Alma
character.
Scream? Would Alma scream in that moment?
I believe so, yes.
Absolutely.
Not like words, just kind of babbling, screaming.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna try to pull Silas off again, but I'm gonna use a rope to help.
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead and make a strength check with advantage.
For leverage.
Emma Blurry. Sorry, we're adjusting my camera, everyone.
7.
Okay. 7. Silas still stands firmly in place, even as you wrap a rope around his midsection and turn and are pulling with all of your weight. He is fastened in place and is just going to town on those strings.
Sorry, but I'm not the strong guy.
A little bit of his blood actually is like splashing onto you.
Ew.
No.
At least I have an apron on.
Also, you hear a blood-curdling scream coming from above you somewhere.
Jesus Christ.
Things are
Who's
going
that?
well. Things are going well.
Okay.
You have a bonus action and movement if there's anything else you'd like to do.
I'm gonna keep trying this.
Excellent.
Whatever that is, I feel like I need Silas to come with me about.
Okay, make a quick insight check.
Okay. Ha. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Yeah, there's a brief moment where you think about the story that Lord Witherby told you about Lady Sandvale letting out that blood-curdling scream that made everyone's ears bleed, and then murdering the Bandit King with her bare hands. But then that passes, and you instantly recognize that's Alma.
Uh-oh.
Excellent. Ending Cholula's turn is going to bring us to Silas's turn, where he takes another 4 points of slashing damage.
Bad.
I'll do it.
We'll write that down. Alma, on your turn, as this figure reaches out, they kind of stop for a moment, and looking you up and down, let me look at the way this is worded really quickly. Yeah, you can still act freely.
Sword burst.
You cast Sword Burst?
Yes, I do. Can I get a dex save from my nothing? I guess it is a hallucination.
You reach out to cast Sword Burst. Is it a cantrip?
Yeah.
Excellent. So you don't have to burn any spell slots, but nothing happens.
I'm just gonna bunch up into a little ball down here on the ground.
Yeah, as you start to slump and huddle down, the figure was like reaching out and then pauses for a moment before kind of turning their hand and saying, "Darling, your dress is coming apart at the seams."
I bolt
And
whatever direction I can go.
which direction do you go?
Backwards.
Okay, rushing backwards, she snaps her fingers. There's a bright flash of light that envelops you, and then suddenly, at the end of your turn, you snap back. You make a quick dexterity saving throw.
Yeah. 15.
15. You bump into the railing behind you, which luckily is made of iron and not wood, and it holds, but there's a brief moment where you start to feel yourself like tumbling over, but you catch yourself and land and level and are having this moment of like staring at where that figure just was, and now it's gone, and you are back atop
I did the
the
4.
house on Cloaker Hill. You see Verfogenshire around you, and that's where your turn ends. Back to the top of the round, Cholula.
Yeah.
The screaming stops, I
Well,
think.
that's
Does the
good.
screaming stop?
Yeah.
Okay,
I just go, Alma, hang on, and then I'm gonna try again with the rope.
excellent. Another strength check.
Okay. Beep,
With advantage.
boop,
With
boop,
advantage.
boop, 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 boop.
Doesn't she have the gloves, or is that just climbing?
That's
It's
just
just climbing and
Wow.
swimming.
Squimming and quiming.
12.
12.
12 is exactly what you needed.
Hell yeah, dude, I'm
You
so
fucking
strong.
did it,
I'm
dude.
so fucking strong.
Finally,
If
with
I
the-
wasn't crying upstairs right now, I'd be fucking amping you up.
finally, with the help of the rope, you manage to pull Silas free from this dreadful harp, and the beautiful music stops. Silas, you
My hands are probably still kind of like for a second, just
yeah,
like
for a second, you stop yourself, and looking down, your fingers are missing skin, and they are cut and just absolutely shredded.
Fucking shredded, dude.
However, just for your information, you have learned how to play the song Blood Tears of Culterspire, and you know that it was written by someone named Laurel Evensong, and if you ever wanted to try and play it again, you'd have advantage on performance checks to do so.
I'm gonna give him some little slaps, and then I'm gonna pull out my bar towel and like put it on his hands.
Yeah, you do so. And we'll drop initiative at that point.
I heard Alma scream upstairs.
yeah.
Come on.
Where's Alma? Yeah.
You guys rush upstairs. You get all the way upstairs. As you're passing by, Lord Witherby is like, "Is everything okay out there? What's going on?" He's like pokes his head out the parlor door. "Is everything all right?" You like run past and
The
around.
hop wants blood.
What? Yeah, you guys turn the corner and you see this crumbled old wooden staircase and a trapdoor that is hanging open about 20 feet up.
I jump to it.
Make an athletics check. Ooh, what?
I said I make an athletics check. Where? I just saw that. I have a jumpy.
A jumpy.
A jumpy.
Ring of jumping.
Oh, nice. That'll give you advantage.
Ooh, jump ring.
Jump ring.
Plus athletics. That is 21.
21, more than enough. You leap, catch the edge, and like in the same like motion from your supernatural jump, you pull yourself up onto the Widow's Walk, where you see Alma breathing heavily. Actually, Sam, do you want to describe how he sees her? What state he sees her?
Yeah, to avoid falling off of the balcony here, I've just kind of curled up in a corner.
Yeah, I'm gonna like drop to one knee and put my arm down the hole, and it's like looking at Alma. Alma, just hold on for just a second, and I'm gonna be reaching for Cholula to join me.
Cholula, if you want to leap up, you can make an athletics check with advantage.
Okay.
And
those have been going well so
yeah.
far.
Don't forget to add 5 because this is technically climbing.
This is climbing. Oh my god.
This is
Grab my handsome forearm. Wow.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
can't get a grip on it. It's just
okay.
too big.
21.
I said what I said.
Check out our Discord. I'm sure it's going great.
21.
21. 21 is absolutely enough. You clasp arms with Silas. He pulls you up onto the Widow's Walk as well, and you all find yourselves standing atop this small bastion of safety on the slanted.
How big is it?
It is about like 10 feet by 20 feet.
Okay.
10 feet deep porch.
When you said small bastion
Yeah.
of safety, I thought you meant like 3 by 2.
No. Just in comparison.
We're all standing on each other.
No, in comparison to the roof beyond it, which is like treacherously angled and covered in loose shingles and slick with moss, this place is safe by comparison.
Alma, what the fuck?
Yeah, I've got like my sword drawn, like looking where she's looking. Like,
I'm gonna go try to like give you a little shake. Is that better?
I heard you screaming.
You sing front!
Why are you sitting down?
Because I almost fell off
Fucking
the...
seen an airplane where everybody's just slapping.
Is that a Nick Cage one?
No.
No?
that's Con Air.
That's Con Air!
Just as
That
funny
was a
though.
bad one.
Just right up
good.
there. So funny.
My mom used to watch that one a lot.
Yeah, I know. You didn't have to tell me that. I knew.
You find yourselves on the Widow's Walk. Alma, you're being shaken.
I'm being shaken.
You say
There
that.
was somebody here.
Well, where'd they go?
Everybody make. I'd say you two can make it. Everybody make an insight check.
Okay.
Alma, this would be kind of like a self-insight on your part.
18.
18, nice.
15.
18.
18, excellent.
Fucking nice. I don't have anybody to high five, but
Great job.
You're leaving her hanging.
ow!
Sure.
Don't use that arm.
Yeah.
I got excited.
Yeah, I was thinking that 15 would be the set DC for this roll anyway.
Nice.
You're all pretty aware at this point. There have been a couple of moments now where Alma seems to kind of go somewhere else. She hasn't talked about it, and she hasn't like physically expressed that she is literally going to another place in time. But you guys have noticed those moments where she kind of spaces, and when she comes to is like freaking out a little bit. This is becoming more regular, it seems.
Rattle the jail for us at home. Oh, God.
It's a loud jail.
Well, we don't have mics there anymore. I held it far away. It was fine, guys. Get over it.
Alma,
Thanks for joining us.
Everything's fine, huh? Your necklace is probably
backwards?
it's tapping the microphone, I think. The little chain.
don't take this the wrong way, Alma, but you've been a little bit off lately.
Like that time in Chill Run where we were running and you weren't? I'm still facing the other way. We can talk about it in a bit, but it's probably best to talk about it before a séance. Is there anything up here? I'm holding a sword at nothing.
I don't think so anymore.
Good. have I ever played the harp before? But
Ever?
At this point,
Has Silas ever played the harp?
Silas has never played a harp. Also, at this point, you notice that Silas's hands are covered in blood.
What the fuck happened to your hands?
I played the harp. And I'm gonna put.
He was playing the harp and he wouldn't let it go.
Don't play the harp again. I'm gonna cast Healing Word.
It was very good though.
Was it?
Actually, no. I'm just gonna hand him a health potion. Hang on. I don't have a lot of spells left.
I just. What was the name of the song?
Blood and
Blood Tears of Calterspire. Hang on, let me get back to that spot.
We give those to our husband,
I don't want the widows. What
whom you are married to.
What's that?
Yeah, Blood Tears.
that's the potion.
Blood Tears of Calterspire. Calter with a K.
Coulter.
Is there a plus on it? 4 or something? +4?
It's all those +4, right?
D4.
On a
What,
potion.
what type of potion is it?
I
think
just
it's
rolled
just a-
4 D4s.
4?
What?
Yeah, 44 plus 4.
Okay.
That was a great healing potion.
What was it?
14.
Nice.
Hey, you. Thank you.
Is everything okay up there? Ah, yes.
I know.
My potion tracker. Those little guys too.
I know
Do you have more of these?
a song.
I have another potion.
Is it the same kind?
No.
Okay.
We'll talk about it later. It's not quite as pressing as Alma's. We feel it's safe to séance then.
Did any of us find anything useful?
I found a couple of things.
I found a harp that compels you to play it until this
Right.
happens.
I haven't really checked the room past it. I know there's a chair and a fireplace, but I didn't really see the rest of it through the hole in the.
Is everyone all right? I heard screaming.
Yeah, that just happens sometimes, I think.
Yeah,
Oh.
I don't think it's a house problem. I think it's a
Missed
an
Walker
Alma
issue.
problem.
I think it's an us problem. Just me?
Well,
Well, how, if you don't mind me asking, how on Kavora did you all get up there?
Up here,
Like a 20-foot high wall.
there's a trap door.
there was some jump.
Right, and the stairs are destroyed that lead to it.
Yeah, have you
Very
seen
quite-
my legs?
I just-
Friendship and teamwork.
I
Is
just-
really
Yeah,
Blue.
no, I've got.
Is-
Quite impressive.
I-
I should get some friends.
well,
That's odd to say. I
see
don't
how
know how
this
to
goes.
react to that. If I agree, that sounds mean.
I have everything ready in the parlor if you'd like to join me.
yes.
Okay, I'll jump
How
down.
far down is it? I guess it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna jump down.
I'll jump down and like prepare myself.
To the
no
first
rolls.
floor.
No rolls required. Working together and helping each other out, you can easily make your way back down the wall,
That's the power of Rans.
and back into the house on Cloaker Hill. You are led once again into the dusty old parlor room with the just not hundreds but dozens of portraits painted on the wall, painted portraits hanging on the walls.
Do any of the portraits look like the small portraits in the locket?
Make a perception check.
Oh, clever girl. Oh,
Oh, well, I have this.
With advantage.
Okay.
probably because they're in here and you have pictures.
29.
29. Yes.
Jesus.
A number of these portraits actually depict those children.
Oh.
Well, Fritz, I found a harp that if you play it, it makes you play it until this happens.
Oh.
And like I imagine I have like it's still mostly healed, but there's blood stained and like a couple nails missing.
The
Whoa.
harp in the music room. Noted. I will not be touching that.
Yeah, don't touch it.
I'm sorry about your hands.
That's fine.
I found this locket that looks like those ones and those ones.
Oh, this must have belonged to maybe Mrs. Brand.
Possibly. And I also found this weird glass eye. I thought it was following me, but I think it was a worm.
Fascinating. That's very interesting.
Did you keep
oh.
the worm?
No, I
What?
just let it
Are
be.
there paintings with eye patches in here?
Make a perception check. Interesting. I don't think that Willifort was said to have had a false eye, but it's possible.
16.
Maybe this belonged to one-eyed crumb back in the day.
Oh,
That's
maybe.
on the table. That's good. If none of you feel comfortable, I can go get it myself, but perhaps we could use the doll that we found in the dining room.
I'll go get the doll. Y'all all sit down. I'm gonna go get the doll from
Yeah.
the stairs.
Yeah, you head downstairs, and the doll is laying on its side in the middle of the entryway.
Oh. Well, I didn't see Alma put it in the stairs, did I?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think she just said she was going to do that.
I'll straighten up her dress and bring her with me.
Absolutely.
Did you say in the entryway?
What did you roll on perception?
16.
16?
8, 8.
Not a single figure wearing an eye patch in this space.
Yeah, but who are the people in the photos?
These,
In the portrait.
I believe, based off of the previous owners, I think these are members of the Brand family. Not all people who lived in this home, but ancestors and things of the Brands.
What do they look like?
Looking at them, there's a variety of different builds and faces. There's a number of the men do share kind of similar, more prominent nose. Just like not quite elven, but a little bit longer than your typical human. And there's a couple of half-elves depicted with slightly pointed ears and things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, men, women, children.
Mostly human?
Mostly human, but some half-elves and a couple elves. Excellent.
Yes, the séance starts then.
Right.
Are we...
So, as Lord Witherby places the items that you've
Cholula,
collected.
Just a quick question before we kick this off. Do you happen to have salt on you?
Or any kind
Yes.
of protection?
Remember the pork bag? We filled
Right.
it. We did the cured pork and then we.
Can I have some?
Yes. Handful.
Boom. I'm gonna put some around the table, doorway.
Oh, is this to keep the spirits out?
It is to keep them wherever you're putting them.
Will they be able to enter through the salt to get to the board, do you think?
Oh, do they come to the board, not out of the board? I'm not one for
I imagine the board kind of draws them from the surrounding area.
I scuff out around the table.
Excellent, excellent.
I'm gonna leave the one by the door
Yes, that is fine by me.
and pocket the rest of the salt.
Yeah, as Lord Witherby places the items that you've collected around the spirit board, being delicate with each one, he places the planchette on the board and takes a deep breath, which I'm not going to do because I have to read, and not all of us can reach at the same time.
Would-
But look, we have them.
Would you happen to have any kind of protection from anything?
Yes.
Such
Do you
a
think you should use that on yourself?
Well, okay, on just me.
Well, yeah, you're going to be touching the planchette, yes?
Yes.
That
Okay. I'll.
seems advantageous.
Who all places a hand on the planchette? Just Cholula?
I am, but I guess first I'm gonna cast protection from evil and good on myself.
Okay, you do so. Spirits of this house, we are strangers who come to you openly and without malice. We seek to know your true stories and to help you find peace. We beseech you, make your presence known. There's an awkward pause. And then the lanterns in the space flicker and darken momentarily, as if a gust of wind blew through the room, but the air is still and quiet. The temperature seems to drop, and the planchette moves to yes. Amazing, amazing. With whom are we speaking?
Do I feel like he moved it himself?
Make an insight check.
Okay.
Oh my god, I'm not doing
Can
it.
I determine whether or not any of these objects are like
Reacting.
yeah.
Make an insight check. What did you get on yours?
19.
19? No, it definitely feels like it is being moved, but you see he's got like 2 fingers delicately placed on top of the planchette, which he would have instructed you to do the same. And you kind of like try to resist for a second as you feel it moving, And the strength with which it moves, you feel is more than he could probably muster to push against you with just those fingers.
Okay. Oh, wow.
20.
20.
Dirty.
Dirty 20.
Shaken, not stirred.
You don't see any sort of like aura or shift in any of the items now. The planchette moves to the letter D, then E, O, N.
I forgot to write those.
Dion.
I don't know if
Dion?
I don't know of a Dion. Perhaps one of Lady Sonvale's knights. Could you tell us your last name? Your family name? There's another brief pause. It moves from M, U, R, K, E, Y, and finally to E. Dion Murkai. Fascinating. What happened to you? And just for the sake of not having to spell all of this out for you guys,
Yeah.
Thank you.
through the next series of letters, with brief pauses between, it spells out, he murdered me, trapped, cold.
Ask where.
Where? It spells out, he is coming, cellar, living room. There's a
Who?
There's a small cellar near the kitchen, but
I go to the door, like,
Yeah.
kind of like lean out with like sword.
yeah, make a perception check.
Yeah, done.
There's a cellar near the kitchen. There's a scullery, but it's not anywhere near the living room.
Oh!
Bam, I
That's what
pull out 2 guns.
Natural 20.
I pull out a gun.
Excellent.
I have a gun.
A
now.
ghost gun.
You said we.
The planchette quickly slips out of your hand and out
Can I
of
try to
his.
grab?
Make a dexterity saving throw. Actually, no. This would be an athletics check.
8.
8. The planchette slips from your hand, and for a moment you feel like this is some Fritz is trying to do some sort of parlor trick or something. But you notice that it slipped out of his hand as well, and it slides down the board to goodbye and stops on its own. Silas on a natural 20.
Quickly as I can, I'm putting my hand back on it. Just
Yeah, he does so as well. All right.
let's maybe take it off the board.
Yes, he lifts it up. Silas, you don't see anyone coming up the stairs. You don't hear any footsteps or anything of that nature. But you do notice the window at the end of the hall. There's what would be the soft glow of moonlight coming through, and probably a tree on that side of the house that you would see kind of like scratching up against it. But instead, all that you see is this veil of thick, white fog.
So should we go check the cellar or?
Hold on here for a second. I'm gonna step out into the hallway.
Yeah, you do so.
Do I have mist pouring from me at all?
How stressed in this moment would you say Silas is?
He doesn't. I don't think he remembers how he got to what he would consider his living hell. But he thinks this could be a way. He's not a fan. I'm really, if you're watching at home, thank you so much for joining us. I'm really trying to mirror Bill Murray and Ghostbusters at the end of the hall. Kind of just like, like without a radio, just talking, like looking down the hall, but talking to the people in the room.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say
There's fog coming in from the window at the end. Just describing what I'm seeing.
I would say there's not mist coming off of you in this moment. But you have this shrinking feeling of like being deep in enemy territory with your history as a spy for the Harpers, being deep in enemy territory and finding out that you've been made and you are surrounded. You get this feeling of dread that mechanically doesn't do anything, but overcomes you in this moment. Yes, the fastest way to get to the cellar would be to head out of here and actually just kind of loop around. There's stairs that lead down to the downstairs. We could go directly down and into the scullery from there.
We are going towards the cellar.
That cellar isn't anywhere near the living room?
Correct. The living room is in the northern wing of the house.
Was it always?
The living room?
Right.
To my knowledge, I mean, I haven't made any updates or anything.
Well, could you bring us maybe to the living room instead?
Sure, yes. In that case, we can go to the main staircase. Or, well, I mean, it would be on the way to check the scullery.
Oh, sure.
All right.
Keep your hands on your weapons.
All right. Do you keep your hands on your weapon?
You know what I
Yeah.
mean.
My hands are weapons. No, I pull out my reliquary.
Excellent. You make your way downstairs, first into the kitchen. The doll stays in the parlor.
Good.
It gets up and follows us.
For now.
Stay in there with the salt.
Into the kitchen, and does anybody want to pop in? Fritz points, that is the scullery there, across the way. There's
I'm checking doors like I'm like checking corners.
Absolutely.
Just like peeking into rooms, like advancing now, like an enemy territory, as you said.
Yeah, firstly, stepping into the kitchen, a rack previously suspended from this kitchen ceiling has crashed, crushing a table and scattering rusted pots and cooking implements. There's a sizable iron stove that is built into the wall, and next to that, next to the stove, which seems to have been recently cleaned, is a collection of well-kept pots and pans that don't match the older sets on the floor, that are currently dirtied from having made the dinner.
So much for renovations in the kitchen.
Pushing through the kitchen, you make your way into the scullery. This room displays the effects of damp and decay more than most in the home, probably rivaling with those upstairs bedrooms that you went into, Cholula.
Mm-hmm.
Mold grows in patches on the floor, walls, and ceiling. There's a large copper cask that is discolored and empty. And there's a window on the wall that you can all now see looking out is just a thick fog has rolled in. There's a small heap of crockery with shards on the floor beside it and a staircase that descends downward.
Yeah.
That's the cellar.
Living room or cellar?
Is the cellar big? I can just check it real quick.
No, it's maybe 15 by 15 feet or something close to that. Maybe 12 by 13.
We shouldn't split up, not right now.
All right,
Silas is just like robot mode, like
We're
if
right
any of
here.
you-
We should just check down there.
If any of you can see well in the dark, you could probably just poke your head. Like we can all stay
Yeah.
together, but you can see the whole room from the top of the stairs.
Yeah, I'll check.
Yeah, make a perception check.
Do a good thing. Okay.
very good thing.
29.
Hell yeah.
29. Looking down, you see there's a broom kind of tilted up against the wall and a couple of old shelves that are very dusty, maybe a few wine bottles on the floor, and that's about it. Just 4 walls and a couple of old things left in storage.
Not really anything of note.
Right, to the living room then.
Yeah.
Excellent. Making your way through the house, which seems to be like creaking more. There's this wind seems to have picked up outside.
Does it? So I earlier when we got here, I had kind of put out my emotional feelers. Does it feel different now than it did? Like, are we just psyched out, or is there something
Make another insight check.
different happening? 13?
Kid.
It feels very uncomfortable. You don't. It could be just you guys psyching yourselves out. Mm-hmm. But Silas seems shaken. Something definitely occurred to him with the harp in the music room recently. Mm-hmm. And as you are led by Mr. Witherby into this narrow hallway, he leads you through.
Oh, I don't.
Passing by the dining room, it feels very claustrophobic as you're moving through. And you almost feel like the walls seem to be like breathing and like flexing in places. You make your way into the main entryway and hang a right, following him down another long, narrow, uncomfortable corridor.
I've got my hand on his shoulder, and like hand on the other hand on the hilt of my sword. If anything goes down, I'm just gonna like pull him back and pull the sword.
Excellent. He steps in to the living room. You all follow. Silas, I'll put you right behind Lord Fritz. And making your way down the long, uncomfortable hallway. You enter the living room. There's a door on the far wall that looks to lead out onto a small patio where you can see from here through the thick fog just a couple of feet. There are cracked stones that are overgrown with weeds. Other than that, there are a few piles of refuse and a musty old rug. But other than that, the room seems to be bare.
I moved the rug.
You move the rug. No roll required.
Sticky tack.
Gross.
That tile is different.
You see, with your in real life perception check,
Those are always nat 20s, baby.
Dump.
there's a wooden tile on the floor that does not appear to match the others. It's actually sunk a little bit lower than the other tiles are.
Does anybody
was not aware of this.
wanna?
Can I like pin him to one of these gross walls?
Yeah, he does not resist. You push him up, he looks terrified.
You've had construction crews here? No one has said anything? You didn't know about this?
It's not in the blueprints.
You waited to meet us, to do a séance in this place.
I wasn't waiting to meet you. I was going to do it by myself.
We ran into him.
I ran into you on the road. I was being chased by monsters. You helped me. I offered you dinner.
It seems a little odd, I'm sorry.
This is understandable. I understand your concern. I am just as confused as you are.
The outside, we can only see a couple of feet outside the door.
The door is over on this wall.
But the fog still seems natural.
Make an insight check.
I'm gonna try to pull Silas back by the coat.
19.
Okay. Silas, do you resist?
No, but I just keep my eyes trained on him. I'm going to open that, and if anything is your responsibility, you will be regretting it deeply. You found me in a very uncomfortable place, which is unawares of my surroundings, and I don't like that.
I'm sorry. I'm just as confused as you are.
Yes.
What'd you get on insight?
19.
19. The way that this fog is swirling, you swear there are moments where you see shapes moving through it. It doesn't look like figures approaching the house. It actually reminds you of something. Several years ago, you found a lovely carnival that was sort of a safe haven for you. And they protected you from those who were looking to find you in Borca, and eventually led you out of Borca. And you remember when you were leaving, before you arrived on the outskirts of Waterdeep, that a thick mist turned to fog and surrounded the caravan as you traveled through, and it looked almost identical to this mist surrounding you now.
Can I get like close to the door that leads outside?
Absolutely.
Just like, yeah, 5 feet away. And then can I use prestidigitation to do 10 feet outside, just a shower of sparks for light to see if there's anything more out there, if it spreads or if anything happens?
Yeah, it is actually so dense, no perception check required. The fog here is so dense that you make your shower of sparks and you can see the light from the sparks, but it just kind of brightens the fog in the space. So like turning on your high beams
Yeah.
in the fog, it alights that area, but does not give you any hint of what's in the surrounding area.
Okay.
It just kind of creates a bright flash.
This fog sort of reminds me of something.
Would it make you more comfortable if I opened the cellar?
Can I gauge from Silas whether or not that would make him more or less uncomfortable?
Yeah, make an insight check.
You volunteered.
Silas,
Right?
I don't feel like we really have very strong reason to believe that he's got anything against us.
And we don't have any strong reason to believe that he wouldn't.
But if someone's gonna get hurt by opening this, do you think
I
it
was
should
going
be
to
him?
I was going to make him do it, but you volunteered.
Right.
We're all in agreement on that, yes?
All right, fine.
Right. Lord Fritz steps forward. And just because I can, reaches in.
Oh,
Careful.
Damn.
Yeah.
This had the opposite effect of what I was going for.
Oh no.
And pulls open the trapdoor.
And bees fly.
bees!
You're here in the studio!
Inside the
I
house.
throw a jar on the ground. Scatter! Roll initiative, bitches! The wooden trapdoor pulls open to reveal a dusty, darkened stone staircase.
Okay, hold on just a second. One of the rules was not to trust whatever spirit you talk to. So, what if it's trying to get us to open this up and go down there when something is supposed to be trapped in here?
Quite likely.
So, we could, I mean, if we wanted to, plug it back up, put the rug on top, and go to bed.
Go to bed.
Does it
We could
Does
do
it
that, yes.
seem like the mist?
We have rooms in town also. We don't have to sleep here tonight.
Right, perhaps we should make our exit then.
through that? I'm gonna gesture at the fog.
We can see at least a couple feet in front of us either way. And we're not out in the wilderness anymore. We're at the edge of town, but we're not out of town.
Right, perhaps if we, stick together, or we could use some of that rope that you've got and maybe tie ourselves together.
I mean, it's up to y'all. We can go down there and help this trapped spirit, and someone's coming.
I get the distinct feeling that they're here. Do we want to try the fog back to town? Or
Can I do a retroactive? I don't think I did an insight check on, like,
Spirit vibes.
yeah, spirit vibes.
I'd say retroactively you can do it with disadvantage.
Okay. I mean, it really was just literally spelling things. So,
But was it spelling them like?
was it spelling them wrong?
Was it spelling them honestly?
12.
It's hard to say either way.
Okay.
I'll say however you feel about it is how Cholula would feel about it.
Okay.
I think
I'm slowly have a growing feeling that maybe we're doing exactly what this thing wants.
I
I don't know. How do you all feel about it? Silas, you seem very uncomfortable.
I feel like this house is fucking with me. And if we can leave, I'd like to.
Okay. So maybe we close the cellar and we leave the house. How do you feel about that, Silas?
fine? Fine.
Right, I'm very sorry that I got all of you into this mess.
We'll see where the night takes us. I think that you should come with us as well.
Right. Yes, well, I'm not feeling much up to staying here by myself anymore.
I'm gonna close the cellar.
Yeah, you do so.
I throw the rug back over. And some detritus, if I may. Just
Yes. Absolutely. We can make all of this happen.
Thank you.
We have the power.
We have the detritus.
We have the detritus.
Oh
Sorry.
no!
The debris.
A little fall down.
Debris.
Throw the rug back over.
And her friend Detritus.
Debris and detritus.
Oh man, we should
little
play
pile.
twins in a campaign.
Debris and detritus.
You gotta have like a catchphrase.
We were unloved.
This is my kids, Trash 1 and Trash 2. They chose their own names from there.
Shit house.
Well, we're debris and detritus shit house.
Yeah.
Of course.
Shall I lead the way?
I mean, I'm right by the door. I'll just.
Oh, the town would be straight. I mean, we could go out this door and, cut around the house, but it would be...
Before we
But maybe we just go really fast through the hallways. Yeah.
before we exit, though, I'm gonna start passing rope down in a line.
Excellent. You all tie yourselves to one
I'll
another.
just kind of wrap it around my arm.
Yeah, I'm
I don't
just
wanna
gonna
be-
tie it around my wrist.
Yeah.
Right. Who's in front?
I would like to be in the middle.
Okay.
I'll
What's
go
this-
in front.
Yeah,
I can see things.
I'll take up the rear.
Excellent. All right.
With both
Can
hands.
hear things, I guess.
Tying yourselves together, you quickly run down the hall.
We're like.
You just get glimpses.
Like
in
a kid
either-
grabbing a Pop-Tart in the middle of the night.
Yeah. Like that, like convincing yourself that something is behind you. You just get glimpses into these two rooms as you run by. The doors have been not fully closed, just kind of slightly ajar. In one, on your left, you see what looks to be a number of stone busts,
No.
and just a slight glimpse at a large bronze sculpture in the distance. And in the other room, you see what looks like the ruins of an old library. You see destroyed bookshelves and a pile of what appear to be mostly ruined books in the corner. And you rush past down the hall, hang a hard right, working together because you're all tied together, and out the front door. You bolt out the front door and immediately are met with the thickest fog that any of you have ever experienced. Like you can't even, looking down, you can't even see your own feet. You just hear the sound of your beating footsteps. Cholula, you're in front. Make a quick perception check.
Okay.
Following where you recall the entryway to be, and rushing towards the gate, past where you imagine the trees are.
25.
25. A shape comes into view. You bolted out the door, ran straight ahead, and you find yourself now running straight at the door to the house on Cloaker Hill.
Fuck.
What is it?
We're back at the door. We just ran straight, didn't we?
I didn't feel a turn from the rope.
Maybe we should set it on fire and you could just rebuild.
We could try that, sure. This is
We can help pay for it.
all I have to my name.
This is what you want to your name.
Not personally, no.
Yeah, what if we give
But
you
I
just
would like to
a-
sell it and get a return on my investment.
What if we
perhaps.
just give you like a lot of money instead?
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Restore balance.
It's okay. Even with disadvantage, it's 25.
Sure, we can start a fire.
I mean, I really don't think that's gonna solve this, if I'm being honest.
Right, we just ran in a straight line and ended up where we came from. I have a feeling fire might not do the trick.
Does this feel familiar?
100%. Alma,
So-
Oh shit.
you felt that familiar in closing. Silas, you as well. There's almost more dread leaving the house and entering this mist. And it's strange, because obviously for Cholula and very obviously for Lord Fritz Witherby, arriving back at the house is like, fuck. For Silas and Alma, you guys are kind of like, Okay. At least there's a house here.
Would you consider mist water?
In some aspects.
Can I
Technically, it's gas.
cast shape water and lower the opacity of the
Just
mist?
slide it down.
Interesting.
That's one of the selections of shape water is change
Yeah.
the water's color opacity.
Yeah, make an
It lasts for an
Arcana
hour.
check.
Okay. Arcana check?
Yeah. What area are you trying to do this in?
Probably straight away from the house. Right?
Yeah, away from the house. Arcana Rama 12.
12. You see a bit of grass up here. You can see a little bit better around each other. You can all see each other clearly now, standing out in the mists. And beyond that, just a wall of
Does
fog.
my devil's
Okay.
sight do anything?
It does not.
So, I can just keep doing it. I mean, I can only do like 5 feet at a time, but I can just keep doing it and it lasts for an hour. Cleared fog.
Do you mind if I just try something really quickly and hope that the worst thing doesn't happen? Can I reach for the door and push it open?
Yeah, you push the door open. You see the entryway.
Okay, fantastic. I close the door. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. We're just gonna go 5 feet at a time. Shape water.
Okay, how many spell slots do you have?
It's a cantrip.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you continue, and you're basically just lowering the opacity of the mist, correct?
Yeah, I'm making it so that we can see more clearly, and it does it. Let's see, 5 foot cube, and lasts for an hour.
Okay. You go for about an hour, turning it down. Looking behind you, you see this long tunnel of mist, kind of like a dome of mist, about 5 feet high. Some of you actually have to duck down to see through it.
I'm just backpedaling, like looking at the house.
Yeah, and you see it there ahead of you. And after an hour, I need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw.
Shit. Oh, 7.
7,
22.
27.
27. Nice. Oh, and Fritz is here. 5.
So long, Fritz. I don't know what's gonna happen to you. Also, Cholula. Oh god.
Fritz and Cholula both take a point of exhaustion
Classic.
as the mist becomes thick and heavy surrounding you. And Alma, you feel a familiar sensation Silas actually, you feel a familiar sensation of when you tried to travel through it before and how it just seems to sap the life from you. And it wasn't until you got a potion from a helpful friend that you were actually able to leave Port Alusine. And that led you into the Shadowfell. And you stave off the effects of that exhaustion. However, Cholula and Fritz are starting to look very tired.
Tyler.
Very tired.
Cholula, you look like your name is Tyler.
I'm so tired.
So
Do you like skateboarding?
I do, and I like the monster and
also-
drinks.
After that hour, the house fades out of view as that first 5 feet becomes itself again.
Oh, I guess that's how long that goes.
I'm just gonna
Right?
like
Shape water lasts an hour. Is that what you just said?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, an hour for each. So the one
Yeah.
closest
So the
to the
one
house.
closest to the house fades out of view.
I'm just gonna like grab the rope and walk perpendicular, with the intention of getting back to the house.
Okay. Kind of like tugs.
Yeah.
Does everybody join in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fritz joins as well, a little bit haggard, and you arrive on the front porch again.
Fuck this.
This
I'm
is
gonna like
almost
throw the rope down and walk through the front door. We're back at the house.
Silas unties himself and goes inside.
All right, I'll go inside.
Better than this, at least.
I'm going back to that living room. I'm just gonna like, not even moving the wood, just throw the rug.
Yeah, you do so. Do you all follow?
Yeah.
I'm tired of running from this.
Can I
right?
throw a like light ball down the stairs?
Like dancing lights?
No, like the light.
Do you want to cast it on something and throw that thing down the stairs?
I'll just pick up a piece of wood.
Light.
You toss it down. Following it downward with your eyes, you see the stairwell goes down probably about 40 feet before coming to a rest and opening up into a room, perhaps.
I'm gonna cast protection from evil and good again on myself.
Okay.
Yeah. Just first level.
Right. Fritz, readies his rapier.
I think I don't want to speak for everybody, but I would prefer if you could stay up here and call down if anything changes in the fog.
You want me to stay up here alone?
The top of the stairs?
Make a persuasion check for disadvantage.
I need you to stop giving me this. Okay. Persuasion?
Uh-huh.
24.
24.
I rolled a natural 20 and a 14.
He looks down the stairwell. Right. Good luck. I'll keep an eye on the porch and let you know if things clear up. I will, or if something else happens, I will scream as loud as I can.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to make sure we aren't, I don't know, if you happen to notice that all of a sudden maybe there's buildings outside and they're all crumbling and decrepit but covered in bright paint, scream.
Okay. That's very specific.
Mm-hmm.
I'll keep an eye out for exactly that.
I'm gonna look out at the fog, and I'm gonna kind of grab Cholula, and just okay, take this, and I'm gonna give you the potion of watchful rest that I have.
Oh.
Wouldn't that remove exhaustion?
After
That's
8 hours.
After 8 hours.
Take this if you must. Steel yourselves. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not fucking around.
I mean, I think this will take a bit too long, but I'll hold on to it.
I can. What do you need to feel better? You look beaten.
I mean,
a
I
bit.
need 8 hours, I guess. You know?
If you want, perhaps we could pile up some of this detritus against the entryway to this room, and or we could choose another room in the house. Maybe that's more defensible. We could block ourselves in.
I think
and
we
take
have
shifts.
a concern that if we don't deal with this fog soon, we won't be in Verfolgenshire for much longer.
Right. Either way, you're looking pretty tired. No offense.
I am.
You all were in quite a harrowing battle earlier today. If you need to rest, we can perhaps hole up in a room, board ourselves in. We can take shifts watching, keeping watch, and try and go down at top shape.
I think no matter where we end up in the next 8 hours, we're gonna be glad we've slept.
Fine. The rest wasn't exactly an option the last I met this, but sure, yeah.
Shall we do it here, or do you want to choose a smaller, more defensible room?
And not upstairs. We need to be
Smaller
able to
room.
exit when we can.
Smaller room. There's the art gallery.
The seance room has salt in it. What is that? Something?
I still have salt in my pocket.
Oh, right.
Right. That doesn't seem to have helped us much up to this point.
Well, we didn't know that because we didn't stay in the seance room.
That's true, I guess.
Well, I'm just.
Why don't we just stay here
think-
and
yeah, let's-
make sure that the
we
cell
at
stays
least-
closed, right?
We at least know where the danger could be coming from in here.
Yeah.
Right. I don't mind taking first watch.
You
You
look pretty
also
bad.
are tired.
Yes.
I'll take first watch.
All right. As you all hunker down in the living room, and all of you at one point or another in your lives have made a trek through a similar strange mist, but now you find yourselves once again the Mistwalkers, preparing to face it head on. We're going to take a quick break.
And I'm Taylor again. That's fun.
But before we go, we've got one of 2 giveaways we've got tonight.
Ooh, giveaways!
We've got 2 giveaways.
Ooh.
The first one is this lovely set of pre-painted mystery minis. There you are.
Those are mine. Or they're for you.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to hold them.
This week's theme is Snowbound from our wonderful sponsor, More Fun Comics and Games.
More Fun Comics and
To enter
Games.
for your chance to win these lovely pre-painted minis, you must be a follower of us here at twitch.tv/Arcanarama. So click the heart if you haven't already. And you can't live in Quebec because they have rules against giveaways and things
They
of
have
that nature.
rules.
But in order
Not
to
rules.
in order to enter for your chance to win this lovely set of pre-painted mystery minis, go ahead and type the word haunted in the chat. That's Haunted.
Haunted.
You will be entered for your chance to win. We'll announce the winner when we come back from our break, and we'll tell you how to enter our giveaway for the lovely set of Fablefire dice, the Spectral Cage dice from this week. So don't go away.
very
We'll be back
on
in 20 minutes to see where this goes.
Ghosts.
Ghost.
Spooky.
Spooky.
Welcome back, everyone. Before we hop into whatever lies in wait in the cellar, we have a giveaway to it.
Nothing.
Without further ado, the winner of the more fun mystery giveaway is Butterfly 425. Congratulations, Butterfly.
That's what a butterfly sounds
Sure
like.
is. Tiny bird.
Like a butterfly. Fly away. 'Cause I'm a butterfly.
Don't mind
Yeah.
me.
Congrats!
Yay!
Yeah!
Congratulations. We have another giveaway this evening. Inhale Chalk.
Chalk. Chalk.
He likes Charles.
Chuck?
To enter for
Got
your
it.
chance to win this beautiful set of Fablefire
It's
dice.
beautiful.
This beautiful set of Fablefire dice. The
Wow.
Spectral Cage dice.
Wow.
Go ahead and type the word ghost in the chat.
Sorry, you scared me.
Ghost, ghost, to enter for your chance to win this lovely set of Fablefire dice.
It's your best friend.
Spooky.
I fell in love with my cousin. Who cares? You guys don't watch. Check it out. It's fun.
No.
It's
A lot of people probably don't.
no. It's an incredible show. It's the spin-off character from Tim and Eric,
Yeah, I'm not saying
the
you're
John
wrong.
C. Riley.
I'm just saying a lot of people were probably real confused just now.
That's fine. If you know, you know. He can say it. I can say it.
Ooh, IYKYK. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
So much easier the way you said it.
Yeah.
Hopping back into our
It's really one of John C. Riley's best characters ever, by the way. Just throw that out there.
Following the stairway downward, it opens up into a large cellar space that seems to span more than just the floor plan of the home above. You enter a room of masoned stone that sits quietly, perhaps a remnant of the castle that once stood where the manor home now slumps above. A majority of the floor has crumbled and fallen away, collapsed into darkness around you. And you find yourselves in a large chamber.
Aren't we in the living?
Oh, fuck, right. Hey, my bad. I
Where we
skipped
going?
past your long rest.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah.
But, you know,
But then we go down there.
yeah, just like we do
Okay.
just like we do with players, we'll do it with me as well. Go ahead and take your long rest. We don't need to roll for perception or anything. Nothing seems to accost you in the night
Good, good.
Nice.
or in the day. It's odd. The brightness of the mist doesn't seem to change.
Oh,
It's just this kind of stagnant,
Shadowless.
yeah.
Okay. But then
And
we go
then
down
you
the stairs.
descend and find yourselves in a strange, partially masoned room with just these caverns that stretch into darkness below.
Oh. Are
Could
there
you describe the darkness further for those who can further?
How far does your darkness see?
Does it have to be the blind one, or can it be the regular 60 feet one?
120.
The blind one?
The blind sight, or can it, or devil sight, or whatever it is? It's
Oh,
got the devil one.
Just
or the
however
regular
far
one?
you can see in darkness.
120.
120?
60.
60?
I think it's.
I think it's just 60 for Cholula.
Hey, down here. Yeah, right here.
Oh, then
senses.
yes.
Excellent. Cholula and Alma, you cannot see the bottom. But Silas,
Bottom.
you can see that there is stone floor, like wrought stone floor below. As you're all kind of like quiet, are you guys like talking to each other at all, or is it just a silent
I mean, I think we're probably all just kind of looking around. Are there stairs that go, or is it just hole?
It's just a hole.
It's just hole?
It's just hole. We're all in it. We're all in it now.
Everybody make a perception check.
Whee! Yeah, I imagine Silas is just equally tense. He probably slept with a furrowed brow, if anything.
Is that?
Might be. It doesn't look it though. Dude, that's
It looks it from here.
yeah.
Did I just push it down by setting it on top of it before
It was
then?
pretty level,
Okay.
if I can argue.
23.
22.
19.
8 plus 14. Yeah.
Nice. As you approach kind of the edge of the pit, looking over and down into it, Fritz is like, I guess maybe further down. You hear his voice kind of like echoes through the chamber.
Why did he come down?
But
Oh, fuck, right. I'm sorry. I wiped my brain during the break.
He can come if he wants, but
yeah, we all slept and we probably forgot to.
I
Yeah.
mean,
You have his-
stay up there.
you have his agency in mind.
But now it's not scary nighttime. We all we did sleep.
I don't think we can perceive what time of day it is anymore.
No, but
Yeah.
he's not exhausted anymore. But he would have respected all the.
He can come. He can come.
Okay.
So okay, but then I can't see to the bottom. So how are we gonna get back up?
It's just stone floor down there.
Okay, so then how are we gonna get back up? How far down does it go? Do we have enough rope if we tie them together?
Silas, you can tell in your perception check it goes about 80 feet.
80? How much rope do we have?
I have.
We have a length of 50, I presume.
I have a couple. Yeah.
Also worth noting, as you're all having this conversation, you all hear your voices echoing as well, except for you, Silas. Your voice doesn't seem to echo in this chamber. And with your perception check, you see this sort of pale amber light that ignites in the darkness below. And a whisper resounds from the pit itself that just seems to say, the rest of you don't hear the whisper, but you do notice this pale amber light glowing in the distance with your.
Is anyone else hearing that?
Hearing what?
Stop for just a second while we figure out the rope situation.
If you have any pythons,
Yeah, we could stick that.
I have pythons, and then I got about 100 feet silk rope and 100 feet of hempen rope.
it's
70 to 80
Some of
feet.
it's already got knots tied in.
It's 70 to 80 feet down there. Down there is a light that is saying my name.
A light?
So, a
The
light.
light is saying your name?
Yes.
Do I see a light?
yeah. You all see the
Yeah.
light. It's this
Oh.
pale amber glow. In the
Is there
distance.
anything around it?
It's hard to tell from here.
Saying your name like
Whispery, kind of what you're used to when
Like a
something says
shadow?
your name.
It didn't sound like your shadow.
No, similar feeling from me, though. No, it doesn't sound
If I
like
listen real
shadow.
close, can I hear it?
Make a perception check.
does it seem like
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
a bad idea to go down there?
Alma, you don't hear anything whispering Silas's voice. But a moment passes, and there's a slight pulse to that amber glow, and you hear a voice whispering from the pit.
So it's not the shadow's voice. It's just a whispery. The voices that you get when it says your name.
Hey, Cholula,
Yeah.
can you just...
You want me to shoot an arrow at it?
No, just kind of like listen really close
Okay.
to the hole and the light. Listen to the light in the hole. Light in the hole.
Make
Real
one more perception check.
Okay.
Listen to the hole.
I'm listening really good, and it is still a 23.
23? Mm-hmm. Everybody's very quiet.
Oh! I had a duvet. That's close. Didn't get my first name. Maybe we don't know each other.
Forgive me, I get very analytical when I am terrified. We could take the rope with the knots already tied through it, and we could fasten it to the wall with the pythons, and that could be an easy way up and out.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right, Fritz. Fritz? Fritz.
Yeah.
His name is Fritz.
I forgot.
Yes.
I forgot for a second. You are definitely on the right track of how we get into the hole.
And out of the hole.
Right. The problem is the orb of light that speaks to us, I think, right now.
You?
Listen to the hole, please.
Listen to the hole.
We'll be quiet.
I think I heard a couple of drips of water, maybe.
Oh, cool.
Oh, so we're all. You heard
I heard a duvet, but
the sound of a blanket.
yes.
No, I think she means her
Very
name.
quietly hitting the floor, but it had red hair for sure.
I heard a duvet.
Somebody put a wig on that blanket.
Weighted blankets can be nice.
And I presume you heard your name.
Right.
I'm personally tired of running from this.
So we're gonna just go. We're just gonna go towards the thing.
What
that's
would you presume? We
creepy,
go back.
whispering our names
We go
at
back
us.
up into the mist, right? And walk forever.
Okay, 1 second. I'm gonna down into the hole. Go. Who is it?
Make a persuasion check.
Oh.
Hole, 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 hole.
That is a 19.
19.
Oh damn! This hole's like okay.
Remember,
My name's Hole.
George.
You say this and you hear.
Oh, it's the guy that we talked to. Hang on, I hear a dog.
Is that coming from upstairs?
You know, probably at some point.
I have a hound named Bilius at Fiona House, but I wasn't able to get him on my way.
That's good.
I feel like every hand we meet's named Billy.
It's a good.
It's a common name, strong name.
I guess so. Yeah.
Is Bilius like the spot of this world?
Yeah.
There's no.
It's like a
It's canon.
marker.
No, it's the Bella of this world. Ugh.
Don't do it.
Sometimes I swear I can still hear his bark.
Well, go bark at them, not at us about them.
Don't come over here to scream.
Bark at the threat.
Sorry, guys, we are being robbed right now.
Yeah.
What?
Take the TV, the smaller TV.
It's smaller, but it's smarter.
It sounds like the
You
base.
said it is.
They're taking us.
It said it was.
It's Dion.
Oh,
Yeah, but like, what does Dion want?
perhaps he's one
Why
of the.
does he know all of our names?
Well, we talked to him in the other room.
I didn't introduce myself.
We were
You
using
were
each
in
other's
there.
names. Perhaps. Perhaps it is one of the knights who was interred in
Have
the
we
wall.
used Cholula's last name since we've been here?
However it knows, let's go down there and kick its ass, right?
Well,
It's either that or we're stuck here forever, which, mind you, feels like forever in one day.
Can I call down? How do you know us?
Make a persuasion check.
Do you have those pythons? I'm going to start working on this. If you
Well,
don't
what
mind.
if it's trapped? Maybe we just lower the rope and it can climb up.
29.
Maybe we don't have to go down there.
The orb is trapped?
Is this a bunch of hullabaloo? Is this trickery?
Make an insight check.
I'll bet you say that to all the parties that come through here.
You guys are getting pranked.
Ashton, get out here.
Pippin comes out and he's like, "It was just a prank, bro.
You got punked.
I'm also here."
That's the name of his show.
20,
Pippin is here.
25 on insight? I guess the
25.
question is more like, are we hearing what we expect to hear or want to hear? Or does this ghost somehow know something that nobody on this continent would have any reason to know?
On a 25 insight check, based on what you can glean from these whispers, you get the sense that it is giving information that is congruous with the information that was given upstairs during the séance. but something feels off about it. Certainly. This
but
is
we
not
didn't-
natural.
But we didn't give that information.
Correct. I'd say also on that insight check, none of you have said Cholula's last name since you've entered this house.
And this ghost wouldn't know that we're heroes.
We look
It would-
like here.
You talked with Fritz about how, and Fritz has mentioned how you saved him on the road.
Not during the séance.
Not during the seance, but since the seance, he has stated aloud that, because there was the whole argument between him and Silas, or rather, there was the moment that you shared, where he was like, I wasn't expecting to meet you on the road. So you get the sense if it were listening, it could have gotten that information.
But something seems off.
Yeah.
We're going down, right?
Nothing about this is not suspicious.
Well, yeah, but it's like sometimes, listen, we're not very good at talking to people, right? We all agree with that sometimes. And
I find you all quite personable.
oh, thank you so much,
Yeah,
Fritz.
yeah.
Most
I
people
think
don't.
so too.
No, good timing. You're tying that off, right? To the
So-
Titan?
So there's
Should I be?
Yes.
Okay.
there's the chance, right, that this is just a ghost with a bad
Attitude.
mannerism. You know, seems shady but isn't. And then there's
I want you to know that mannerism was a bad choice of words for that. But
was it?
yeah, I think mannerisms would be something like more physical. I think what you meant was maybe awkward or something. Or, I get where you're going, yes. It just mannerisms.
Imagine that the ghost has braces, but is pretending they don't have braces.
Got the rope
right?
tied off.
I'm
I was
gonna-
gonna say, imagine
I'll
if
give it a
you know you're a ghost
Seems
and you're trapped and you're like trying to warn people and you're trying to get out and then but you're a ghost, so when you talk, it just sounds like a creepy whisper and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah,
Right.
that's all right.
But also worth noting, the ghost knows things about us that we haven't told.
But ghosts
Anybody
are
here?
like, just magical, listening to stuff things, right?
Just-
I don't know about ghosts.
Just from like being haunted for like a while.
Yeah, so like they
They aren't omnipotent.
right.
they
but your
can't-
ghosts knew things about you, right?
Not things that they had no reason to know.
So
Okay.
we go down and kick its ass or whatever ass it needs kicking,
I
right?
think that we should
I'm like
ask
already kind of like holding the rope, like ready to. kind
Silas
of,
is like hanging over the ledge.
So we're going down there to kick its ass,
I-
or we never leave this place.
I think we need to ask some questions first, because what if
It said
The-
something else was after us.
the caveat to setting the fog off is killing it?
Oh no, I'm not living where I lived before again. I'm not being.
Right,
I'm not
and
going
I'm saying
back
that
there.
if we move too quickly, we might do that anyway.
Do I remember like being caught like after the party in the mist that was triggered by anything outside of myself? Outside of the mist that poured from my clothing.
I'm sorry, what's the question?
Being trapped in the mist was just a result of what happened at that party.
Yes. I think I'm still confused.
Or
about
no,
it.
you
He's
were-
asking, I think he's trying to establish, like,
Has he
could
ever
we-
been externally misted, or is he only misted himself?
I
can
mean,
somebody
so the
else
first
missed
time-
him?
The very first time, you ran into the mist with your mother and father, and you got separated, and then you found yourself outside of Waterdeep, and you lived on the streets there for a little bit, and were eventually taken in by a temple, and then by the Harpers. So the very first time that you were affected by the mists, it was purely external.
Ask it what it wants, then. I can't go through that again. I'm sorry. Like, we all have our experiences and horrible things that happen to us. I, personally, am taking action to eradicate that feeling from my body again.
Right, I'm just
Maybe a
telling
fear
you to
response?
slow down in case we fuck this up. And messing
Where
with
is
this thing is what transports us.
Where is it that we're being transported?
We don't know. Could be.
I mean, he seems like he knows.
I think he's
Seems
guessing.
As though we have been transported already. I mean, we couldn't get back to the city. We just kept getting dropped at this house.
Right. The question is now, are we mid-transportation? Are we already stuck wherever it is we're going to be, or can we get back?
Those are all great questions that I have
Well, I
no
guess
answers
we're
for.
stuck and our only way is down. I'm gonna stick the python into the ledge.
Yeah, I mean, it's already been set.
What? Yeah,
Oh.
we've been setting it amidst the argument, Fritz
I'm
and
gonna
I.
hop down.
Okay.
I mean not to be hasty, but not providing another solution isn't a solution. I'm trying to eradicate this from
Go.
what I think could be correct. What else do we have? Going back up into the house and hoping the mist goes away? I did that. I waited and waited and waited, and the only thing that came out of that for me were things with knives for arms that we have run into. That's where my mind goes, is years and years of torment. I can't go back. And I can't run from it anymore either.
Down the rope.
All right. No rolls required. Between gloves of climbing, slow fall as a monk, and wings, there's no need for us to roll an athletics check for you guys to go 80 feet down a rope.
What about Fritz?
Only because you asked.
Fritz has those little spider feet.
He
Little toesies.
manages to squeeze by with a 15,
Wretched.
just barely, but makes his way down.
And horrible spider toes.
Thanks for not mentioning my spider feet.
Though wrought of stone, there is nothing natural about this space. Stepping through with your dark vision, all of you can see stone depictions of twisted, screaming faces that are etched from the surrounding walls, contorted in terror. In the center of this space is a jagged amber.
Are they like regular sized faces or are they big faces?
Regular sized.
Okay.
Oh, face size.
Medium and small humanoid size.
Okay.
Like whole statues or
No.
Faces in the wall.
Like, I don't know if you've ever.
Like Han Solo in the stuff?
carbonite?
Thank you.
Kind of, yeah. It's like
got
writhing,
as far as I could.
writhing bodies that are twisted together. And
Oh.
some of them are like up to a torso, some of them are just the head, but it's just this like horrible twisted sculpture almost of just faces and bodies in pain and terror. In the center of the space is a jagged amber monolith, faintly glowing. As you take a couple of steps forward, there's a loud crack, and the monolith cracks and crumbles, and within it you see 3 skeletal remains that begin to pulse and twist and contort around one another. And they form this disturbing, misshapen humanoid form that has 3 skulls. From the earth beside it, it wrenches free a staff of bone. At the same time, 4 bluish translucent specters appear from the contorted faces in the walls and let out a horrid shriek. And almost as that is happening, a large section of those contorted creatures, or contorted faces themselves, begins to pulse and rise and rip itself free from the earth as this shambling mound full of corpses lurches forward. And next time, we'll have you guys roll initiative because it's too late to start this battle right now.
Okay. Well, why don't we, just so that we don't, cut anybody short, how do you guys feel about maybe doing Chaos Hours on the table to give people like a taste of what that is like on Patreon?
I'm fine with that.
No?
I thought there was a particular subject we were going to broach in Chaos.
Well,
save that
okay,
for
we can
next
save
time.
that one for a 15-minute quick spiel after. But mostly, it's only 11 and we just got back from break, so I
Yeah,
don't want to just
true.
cut off and
I'm down.
I'm sure they're relieved to not have it at midnight either way.
yeah.
Well, in true Chaos Hours fashion, I did not prepare anything for it this time.
Ah, good.
So if you have any, actually, yeah, that's a good point.